a parking lot on a piece of land where the supermarket used to stand. Before that they put up a bowling alley on the site that used to be the local pally. That's where the big band used to come and play. My sister went there on a Saturday. Come dancing, all our boyfriends used to come and call. Why not come dancing? It's only natural. Another Saturday, another date. She would be ready, but she'd always make him wait. In the hallway, in anticipation. He didn't know the night would end up in frustration. We'd end up blowing.
Codedfriend.001 listeners. Been a while since we've been here. Dearman said to shut the video down, so taking advice. Sorry about that. I had a little trouble with my router or my internet service today, so god damn, fucking Gatorade bottle won't open. So I was running a little late. I didn't have time to prep my intro, outro. I don't think that would have got it shut down, but anyway. We shall see what happens from here. Let's see who's in the chat today. Oh, Ratty Satis, number one. Nope, not number one. Sorry, I didn't scroll all the way to the top. Let's see. Comments started at 10:51. Wow, there's an hour and a half of comments here. I'm going to go through these quick. Purple Butterfly first in the chat. I'm so excited. Can't wait. Thank you, Purple Butterfly. What happened to your icon? Are you really Purple Butterfly? Dermot Costello is with us, says hello, Rebel at Heart with an NTFG. Victor B's got an SFW for us. Welsh News Now is in the chat. NTFG. I'm sitting here counting all of my shillings. Purple Rain's with us, says hello to all. Bobby Bishop is here. How about some Grand Illusion by Styx for an opener today? Seems kind of fitting for the two characters mentioned. Ooh, that's a really fucking good tune. Good call, man. Hold on. Let's see if I can get... Okay. Judging by... my router performance today, we might be a little choppy for a moment or two while I get this downloaded, so Dearmid doesn't panic about getting me getting a strike. Pop that in. Video extracting. Oh, I didn't want the video. Shit. All right, so I got that downloading. Let me know how the audio feed is, if we're getting a little bouncy or anything. Today we're going to be taking a look at the title of the video. It's from Nark the Sarcastic Snitch boy. You know, Dan's little runoff. Oh, they're doing something wrong over here. They're doing something wrong over here, Dan. You have to do an expose. Welsh genetics, big-headed, water on the brain. You know, that's why the leading cause of death in Wales is not guns like America for youths, it's suicide and genetic defect. Hi, Bobby Bishop. I'm working on your tune. Welsh News Now says, "Oh, Mandy, well, you came and you gave without taking, but I sent you away. Oh, Mandy, well, you kissed me and stopped me from shaking, and I need you today. Oh, Mandy." Barry Manilow, right? That's a fucking old one from the 70s. Welsh News Now says, Prince William and I used to play marbles together. I believe it. It's a small fucking country. You bump into everybody. Rebel at Heart says, at Welsh News Now, I see you now store those marbles in your mouth. Welsh News Now, but now I have lost all of my marbles. Dan may have lost his too. Did a bigger boy come and take your marbles and your milk money? Welsh News Now, the Welsh News Now, bringing you the biggest and best news stories and commentary. Speaking of the best news stories, Blue Bacon announced today, I have a broadcast scheduled for the NTFG SFW channel later tonight, 7 o'clock, which I might do something else now instead, because Blue Bacon announced that he successfully hit his 15K goal on his GoFundMe to fund a legal defense against Chili DeCastro, who there's no record that Chili's suing Blue, is there? I think Blue is just named as one of the videos. John Doey boy. Blue Bacon is a doughy little boy. He got a doughy head. Is Blue Bacon actually getting sued by Chili? And if he's not, what does he need 15K from his listening audience for? Oh, how will they get their money back if Chili doesn't sue? And didn't Blue Bacon, about a month ago, when he announced that he was going to maybe in the future do a fundraiser, didn't Blue actually say he didn't need the money? He was good? Some of you guys just allow yourselves to get fucking ripped off. I should probably keep quiet and let you dumb fucks get taken. Carte Blanche says, kangaroos bouncing like a champ. Radius Hattis with an NTFG SFW. Radius Hattis, will Mark ever stop simping for which of the thick mustache? Which of the stachio? Speaking of which, I'm accumulating some. Is there a nursery rhyme that has mulberry? It's the mulberry bush, ring around the rosies, right? Is there? Does anybody know a nursery rhyme that has Mulberry Lane in it? I think Mulberry Lane is significant in the which of smoldering, which of mustache, which of what the fuck are you doing with that fat water-headed Welshman? That witch. I think there's a Mulberry Lane reference in there somewhere. It's not the Mulberry Bush, I don't think. I think it's the Mulberry Lane. Oh, no, that's not Ring Around the Rosie. It's all around the mulberry bush. The monkey chased the weasel. That's the fucking nursery rhyme I was thinking of. But does anyone know a nursery rhyme where there's a mulberry lane? I know the Muffin Man is on Drury Lane. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? Oh, shit. Open the wrong thing. Bear with me just a moment. I got to get something opened up here, and I'll be in good shape. There we go. Found it. Oh, no. Wrong one. Shit. Hang tight, kids. I'll be right there. Relax. Everything will be cool. There we go. So the title for today's broadcast is A Lesson in Accountability with Mark and Mandy. We'll be looking at the Nark the Snitch boy, addressing what caused the WNN versus TPA issue with MissMandy. I hear that there are perks with apparently MissMandy is shopping to produce for new people. I think a few people might have told her to go scratch. They don't want her to produce anymore. But a little perk. It's a rumor. I haven't been able to confirm it yet. There is apparently a little perk if you hire MissMandy as your producer. She will, at some point in time, as quite a few YouTube co-hosts are murmuring in the background about that. If you hire on MissMandy, there's a good chance at some point in time she'll offer to show you her tig old biddies. Doesn't matter if you're married or single. She doesn't care about your wife, your girlfriend, any of that. She just wants to show off them tig old biddies. I don't know. Maybe it helps her get a pay raise. Who knows? But in an age where women's lib and women's equality is, the fucking mantra of just about everybody, offering to show your employer your tits is probably not a good fucking idea. If you offer to show your employer your tits, does that make you guilty of sexual harassment? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Most guys I know wouldn't think of it as sexual harassment, but there's a whole millennial generation behind us that's soft, hobnobbish, pee-pee kissers, that kind of stuff. The Forgiven Jerry's with us. Hand brown waving. I'm lurking and working on this one. Hope everyone has a good start to the week. Hand brown waving. You might want to wash up there, son. Sounds like you had a little accident after you last defecated. Writes on, time to change. 12:15 New York time. Be back. Yeah, sorry, I pushed off again after that. Router issues. Carte Blanche says, hand pink waving, hand pink waving, hand pink waving, hand pink waving, just because I can. And you did. Thank you very much. I was looking forward to saying that today. Writes on, has a message for at Welsh News Now. I'm confused. Your channel description says bringing you the biggest and best news to the community, but when getting called out on using other creators' material, you claim, quote, we are a reaction channel. Does the bullshit flow so easily out of your mouth? Is that why your teeth are shit stained? Right on. Not sugarcoating that one. Hey, if you have something to say, don't beat around the bush about it. Blurt it right out. Hello, baby says, okay, I love the astute observations and the fearlessness. However, I am mad. I believe Becca when she said they had Charlie, and I mostly, wow, all you guys are doing double. Hello, baby's got a triple comment here. And I mostly believed Dan when his USA FBI contact said they were after Chili for child trafficking. So I said mean things about Witch and called Becca, and that is not what I'm about. I don't trust myself not to be mad and say things right now, especially since YouTube got mad at me for really giving it to Zav Girl, like hard. Strap on hard. It's such a weird world we live in now. Well, if you're angry, hello, baby, and you don't want to speak in anger, then remaining quiet is you probably doing the right thing. Hello, baby says, I will enjoy it on my own. Feel free. If you want to participate after you calm down a little bit or are no longer angry, come right back. Until then, hello, baby. Dermot Costello says, we are all here, baby, just getting ready. Writes on, hello, baby, you are Ironton? I've got some big stuff coming out of Ironton. Really? Do tell, writes on, do tell. Shiz Happens is here, says, hello, lovelies. Shiz while talking just before this broadcast, mentioned that her expose on Fraud of the Reaper has climbed up to 3,000 hits. Looks like Fraud of the Reaper is Streisand affecting herself by daily whining about how bad the fucking expose was. And people want to go check it out. You might want to shut that fucking yap of yours, but you guys never are able to fucking do that. Writes on in response to Shiz's hello lovely, says, Shiz. Hey, I want to point something out too. There were a handful of women that complained about Writes on being harsh way back when I started doing this. I kind of took up for those women. I gave Writes on a little bit of a hard time. And, when Writes on came over to our chat and started talking, I asked Writes on to be civil, lean toward the polite side when interacting with the group here. And I asked the group to reciprocate by being civil and speaking politely toward Writes on. And guess what? Writes on, who has very little in common with myself and a lot of the people in the chat, did what I asked. My chat did what I asked. And, they have a fucking dialogue going on, and everybody's happy to see Writes on when he shows up. So let that be a lesson to you other fucking dickhead creators out there, while you're fucking yammering on about fucking authenticating and accountability, and hold your fucking self accountable. Huh? Writes on is more than shown over the last, 2 months in and out of my chat, in my comment section, that he's a fucking gentleman. And that when he was asked to tone his shit down, he toned his shit down. Whether it happened naturally or it happened because I asked him to, it fucking happened. And Writes on, I'm happy you're a fucking member of the crowd. I really am. Because you're proof that we're not a fucking echo chamber, and we can have differing opinions, and we can have people who are, one end of the spectrum and people who are the other end of the spectrum, and we can fucking get along and talk to each other. So every day you're here, Writes on, I celebrate a little bit of a victory for all of us, for you, for me, and for the people in my fucking chat, because instead of sniping, we're talking. It's a beautiful thing, man. Thank you. Radius Haddis is here, says hello to Shiz. Writes on, says, Radius Dearmid, carte blanche, the forgiven Jerry. Good to see you all. See, we can learn to get along. Highest Priestess says, hey, you guys. Rebel at Heart is with us. Writes, check moving to that location. Yeah. Radius Haddis says, good to see you. Writes on. Shiz happens, says, delayed it. Man. Yeah, router issues, technical stuff. Sometimes you just got to play the cards that are dealt to you, Shiz. Let me get your complaint up there. See, Shiz gives me a hard... And Shiz at first gave me a fucking hard time, too. She didn't like that I said the F-A-G word. Now, Merb contacted me, DM'd me last night, and I guess he's been listening to the some of the NTFG SFW videos, and he was antagonizing me a little bit that I allowed people to convince me to self-center. And what I said to him was, there are many other ways I can indicate FAG without saying FAG. So, I have a vocabulary. I have a slang vocabulary. I have a fucking, regular, English speaking vocabulary, civil, no profanities. I can speak in philosophical terms. I can speak in financial terms. Why shouldn't I just put together more creative expressions and let the fucking Karens and Kens fucking complain about every fucking reference word? Let them complain about them all, and let them show that they're the ones that aren't for free speech. They aren't for freedom of expression, and they are for censorship. Now, I understand why that word bothers people. I would hope that people would take a look at why it's bothersome, not only to myself, but to a lot of other people, and people who are more prone to thinking rationally. Why the idea of censorship is insanely offensive and detrimental to the dialogue. So Merb, I invited Merb to come have a chat with me about it and try to convince me that I aired when self-censoring, and Merb has agreed. We got to put it down. Merb can only do weekends, so I don't have time to do it right now. When I return from vacation, end of August, early September, Merb and I will get together and we will have a little conversation about censorship and self-censoring. I think I can make a rational argument for why self-censorship isn't as detrimental as the idea of other people wanting to censor people, if that makes sense. We'll see what happens when we talk. Anyways, I'm looking forward to having a fucking conversation with Merb. I like Merb. I think he's fucking hilarious, and I enjoy his sense of humor. W124 Mercedes is with us, says, hello, Coded and friends, NTFG. Johnny Switchblade is here, lurking while working, in shop before things really heat up. 120 degrees yesterday. Fuck, my man. It's a good time to be in Alaska, I bet. Rebel at heart, Johnny, get some cold beer to help keep cool. Scotto's with us, says hey to everybody. Dermot, of course, is here. We were pushed back again. Yeah, but we're here now. I'm so far behind in the chat. The pushback doesn't really fucking matter. All right, I'm going to zip through these comments. Hello, Priestess. Maybe he'll only be 30 minutes behind in the chat. Fuck no. The pushbacks added more chat shit. I'm probably going to be way the fuck behind, which is why I got to skip through this stuff. Flo B is with us, lurking until my doctor calls. Lurk away, Flo B. John Clark is with us, NTFG. Rolling. Ms. Bird Hunter is here. Hi, everyone. We'll be listening outside. Chores. Sweet. Work in the shade, Ms. Bird Hunter. Everybody's complaining about the heat. Ms. Bird Hunter, do you know an individual on Discord that says birds aren't real? Maybe you could hunt a bird for birds aren't real and show birds aren't real that birds are real. Why would someone believe that birds aren't real? That's fucking weird. There's a lot of weirdness on YouTube. There's super weirdness on YouTube. I was talking to someone earlier today about the medical miracles that walk around and talk daily on YouTube. A lot of people, fucking ailment after ailment after ailment after ailment after ailment. And, well, take Miss Mandy's lupus and the claim recently that her husband stole her opioid medication for pain, which they don't usually prescribe opioids for a person with lupus because opioids are ineffectual fighting that kind of pain. I think like a nerve painkiller would be better, like a gabapentin, whatever that shit is. But they don't prescribe opioids for that. Maybe someone's faking. Not only are opioids ineffectual on the pain caused by lupus, but they can exacerbate the actual pain from lupus. Seems like a double-edged sword. Highest Priestess says, come dancing. Yes, it was. Dearman shut that down. Dearman said, is that the Kinks? John Clark says, Kinks. Alan Killian's with us. The frayed ends of Smitty is here. Hashtag don't care. Why do you keep coming if you don't care? It's odd. You seem to care, dude. You have a lot to say for a guy who doesn't care. You keep trying to push the idea that you don't care, which would show that maybe you care about people knowing that you don't care, which in and of itself is a care. But you do you, bro. It just seems flip-floppy and a little bit weird. But that's okay. We can do that here. Shiz happens. The Kinks. Someone stole my band name before I was born. Yep. I was thinking of band names for Dan and the Simps, and I think that Dill Dan and the Wet Wipes might be a good fucking band name for those boys. The Wet Wipes could all accompany Dan's harmonic singing on the kazoo. Johnny Switchblade says, R.I.P. Jim. What Jim died? A Jim died? Not our Jim Felch boy. Did his prolapsed anus finally fall out? Pink sock and Jim. Not good. Not good, bro. Don't do the pink sock. Odin's with us. Hello, Odin. Coded, don't forget the numbers. Today's program is sponsored by the number one. The number one. Dermot Costello says, this sucks. Is Blue Bear with you? BLEW Bear? He sucks. I've heard. I heard he could suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Dermot Costello says, I'm not allowed to say FCK. Apparently you're okay with typing it, though. Or see you next Tuesday. You could always say the day after Monday. Dermot Costello says, free speech, my left nut. Time, place, and manner restriction. Time, place, and manner restriction. Maybe it's not the time or the place, but just the manner in which you say it, Dermot. Inflection and enunciation means everything. Dermot Costello says, oh, Mandy GIS to Carlsberg, a boss and a shandy. And could you give me a double brandy? Is that a song lyric? That's got to be a song lyric. Writes on, says, Bull Dookie. I think I've... Scotto, I'll read a comment from you. I was walking down Mulberry Lane. I met a man along the same. He tipped his hat and drew his cane, and in this rhyme, I said his name. Sweet! Is that that's a limerick, right? Is that a limerick? It's a limerick. You got to work the number one into that. Today's program is sponsored by the number one. The number one. Nikki Marie is here. Here we go round the mulberry bush. Why is there a question mark at the end of that? That's not sung as a question. It's a statement. Dermot Costello, and I will say the word for him, OT, fuck them all. I'll say it for you, Dermot. Type it away. I'll say it for you. Writes on, says, agreed, Dermot, rebel at heart, does her shopping come with pictures? Shiz Happen says, don't say perk. She'll just claim her husband stole it. Oh, one of the perks of employing MissMandy. Her husband stole the perk. So now when MissMandy shows the tiggle bitties, there's nothing there. Wow, that's amazing. Thanks for the news flash. News flash by Shiz. Johnny Switchblade. Don Occhio has tens of thousands to give for Plan B, but has to raise donation for BB. Yeah, exactly. You were going to pay this. Fucking get it, man. Blue Bacon is forced to grovel and crawl on his knees to e-beg once again because of the dastardly villain Chili DeCastro, who has indicated he may sue Blue Bacon, but isn't actually suing Blue Bacon. I believe it's the other way around, right? Wasn't Blue Bacon writing up a months ago, almost a year ago, I'm writing up as we speak now, a counter defamation suit against Chili. Where's that fucking thing? Huh? It's probably in the trash with your fucking anti-slap bullshit that the judge fucking laughed at. Because you think, oh, if Chili can do this, I'm so much smarter than Chili. I can do it too. Where's your fucking motion, Blue Bacon? Where's your fucking motion? Where's your anti-slap motion? In the garbage. where it belongs. Frayed ends of Smitty again. Hashtag don't care. You seem to really care about getting that fucking message out, Schmitty. Oh my God, Shiz, that would, oh, what a great, Shiz with a hypothetical scenario says, imagine if you offered to show your tig old biddies and your employer said, nah, no thanks. That would be kind of fucking embarrassing, wouldn't it? That's a horrible scenario, Shiz. Oh my God, the rejection, the horror, the horror. Uh-oh. Rebel at Heart says there's a rumor going around that MissMandy borrowed Blecka's pink toy vibrator. All right, going through. Forgiven Jerry responds with the sideways chuckling, crying, smiling face. Brown as in skin color. Oh, well, I walked into that one. You keep setting them up soft in front of the net, bro, and I'll spike them right the fuck back at you. That's not a problem. Uh-oh, Shiz has got a long one. RO and I differ. Right on and I differ on a lot of things. But at the end of the day, we're humans and capable of friendly, civil discussion. We're all just here to learn from each other. Can't do that in an echo chamber. Correct. But in an echo chamber, you will quickly learn what words are not allowed to be said. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's get to. Oh, Laura Rader popped in the room. Laura Rader says, Dearmid, can we use FAQ as code? No one complains about frequently asked questions, but will know what it really means, like fuck you. Good idea, Laura. Good idea. If everybody would, for me, put because I haven't seen them yet, we need to call them into the room. Please, the entirety of the chat, would you all enter hashtag FYM? Fuck you, McAddicts. Fuck you. Poor McAddicts feels like he's getting left out, and with the fuck you chili phenomenon, the fuck you coded phenomenon, McAddicts would like his daily dose of fuck you, McAddicts. And I think that hilarious ball-busting fucking Canadian deserves, on a daily basis, the hashtag FYM to acknowledge his presence, both in Discord and YouTube, getting under people's skin. Scrubzilla's here. Holy fuck. I'm proof we can get along. One love. All we have to do is actually get along. Scrub. Right on it, Dermot Costello. Look now, I'm gonna picture you talking in Conor McGregor's voice. Dermot's got his own voice. You can picture him that way if you want. I mean, they both break the brogue, but Dermot's a little different. Scrubzilla says, "Hey, buddy," to Rights On. Rebel at Heart says, at Scrubzilla, long time no see. Dearmid Costello says, that's up to Coded. See what he thinks. I greenlighted it. If you're talking about Laura Raiders, fuck you. I greenlighted it. We'll know what it means when you put it in the chat. Laura Raider says, hey, Scrub, you been hitting the video games recently? Back to work for me. Writes on, says, Scrubs, my boy, good to see you. Shiz says, calling a man a labia or a gaping vagina is more insulting than the F word. Okay, I'll start doing it. Pussy eater was a big fucking insult when I was in my teens. Like calling another dude that, meant like his, phallus didn't function. So he had to use his tongue instead. It was a big insult when I was a young teenager. Highest Priestess says, not a good time in Alaska. Mendahall Glacier melting and houses falling into the river. I saw that video today. The White House, that fucking the whole thing just fell in the river, and the brick looks like condos or apartment complex. The brick buildings right next to it don't look like they're long for the world if that water keeps flowing the way it's flowing. Scott Amos with us. Good afternoon, friends, coded and otherwise. Sorry I'm late. YouTube was nice enough not to send the notification. Ooh. Unsub, resub, hit all on the notification. Sometimes that helps. Shiz, says the priestess, check your DMs. Dermot says Gavopenthan is shit. You didn't even come close to spelling that right, just for the record, Dermot. I used to be on 1,000 milligrams a day for my back and just stopped. Okay. So last summer, number 7 says at Dermot Costello, I take 2,400 milligrams a day and would die without it. Sorry it didn't help you. I think you're just made of different shit than other people are, Dermot. I think it's not the medication. I think it's you, Dermot. It's you. Shiz Happens says they prescribe NSAIDs for lupus, as it's an anti-inflammatory condition. Alan Killian says Barbie movie day for my daughters, but heck yeah, have a good time, Alan. Have a good time. Oh, Kim Crawford's here. Be nice, Kim. I've seen some of your Discord posts. You can be a bother at times. If you have an immune-compromised disease, you sometimes have other issues along with it. Maybe that's why the opiates are used and not for the lupus. But if you have lupus, they don't give you the opiates because it makes the lupus worse. That was the fucking point. You can go ahead and make up cover stories for the pill poppers if you want. There's a lot of fucking pill poppers on fucking YouTube. I've never seen so many people so fucking popping so many fucking pills a day. Oh, you're all so fucking frail and weak. It's insane. It's fucking crazy. But then again, most of you guys were fucking hippie beatnik dopes in the fucking 60s with your fucking free love bullshit. You fucking sex diseases and you fucking pill popping nonsense. All right, I think we got everybody. I'm skipping through the chat. I think we got everybody. I'm caught up. Yo, Walter's here. Fucking A, nice, Walter. Good job, bud. Walter says, hi, coded friend, .001, and everyone driving today. Walter throws in an NTFG SFW and then writes on, says, Walter. Giving the thumb pinky hang loose thing. Rebel at Heart says hey to Walter. Dermot Costello says hey to Walter. All right, let's get on with the meat of the matter. It only took 36 minutes to say hey to everybody. There's 33 people listening, so we basically spent a minute on everyone here. I love you guys. You got the minute. And thanks for getting off the hand pink waving thing. Blackest box of toys just popped in the room. Dan's FBI handler hasn't been keeping up with his cleaning duties, and I'm starting to smell like a tuna factory. Oh, my God. Right on time. You are right, man. Right on time. All right, let's get into this shit. We're going to have to skip through some of this stuff. I got that Come Dancing tune stuck in my head now. All right. Sherry, share. Ooh, there's Tiggle Bitties. That's a nice little hair bow she's got rocking. I don't know about that green color, whether it really goes with that green color seems to flush out her face. You look very pale, Miss Mandy. you should slap on some SPF 50 and do some yard work. Get a little sun on yourself. Alrighty then, here we go. Gonna press play. Everything's muted. I don't know why.
Hello, everybody. How are we all?
We're doing good, Mark.
Super. Straight in with the membership. Welcome to whichever level membership you had. I can't see from here.
Sarcastic Stalkers.
Sarcastic Stalkers. Wow. Excellent. How is everybody today? I know that we just come over from Mandy's. Okay, a couple of housekeeping notes. I do have to mention before we start anything today that this is not associated with Welsh News Network or True Army in any way, shape, or form. They haven't asked me to do this, either of them. This is entirely off my own back. So if anybody thinks that I'm acting on their behalf or doing anything like that, it's incorrect. Okay. We're going to be looking today at really the reasons behind why the situation between Welsh News Network and True Army really became a thing, why it wasn't dealt with in private as a lot of people have suggested it should have been.
Art Acuto says, just passing through to say GTFOH. What does GTFOH stand for, Art? You want to let me know? Anybody in the chat can translate the GTFOH? GTFOH, Art. Hold on, I'm getting somebody to tell me what it means. Anybody? Get the fuck out of here? Is that what it is? Get the fuck out of here? Yeah, scrub. You just put the letters in lowercase. That doesn't fucking help me. What's GTFOH? Get the fuck out of here? Johnny Switch confirms. All right, Art, get the fuck out of here then. Have a nice day, Artie. You pencil neck little fuck.
Why it's important to have accountability in our community as well as anywhere else.
What?
Another little,
what was that?
Bits and ability and suggest became a thing. Work and True.
All right, let's listen to what Mark has to say here.
True Army really became a thing. Why it wasn't dealt with in private as a lot of people have suggested it should have been. Why it's important to have accountability in our community as well as anywhere else. Another little bits and pieces we'll also be looking in there.
So the whole theme here is why it's important to have accountability in our community. And we'll be looking at other little bits and pieces here. McAddix has rolled into the chat room late. Could everybody once again give McAddix his daily due and hashtag FYM McAddix? Fuck you, McAddix, and you're fucking funny shit. Fuck you, McAddix. And Nima 19079 rolls in, says, "Hey Shiz, what drama is this now? Does it never end? Haha. I could never handle all the drama. We'll stay until you can't handle it anymore and then slide on out of the room, Nima."
We'll be looking at some of, well, we'll be taking a look at Only Frauds community post and also some of the harassment legislation in Tennessee, which is where I believe Jeremiah Payne was at the time. Whether he's still there, I don't know. But yeah, we are. And it's at risk of sort of reigniting at the moment, which is one of the reasons why I really want to address it now. Oh, yes. Don't forget, if you send a super chat of $9.99 or more, Mark gets severely reprimanded by Judge Rinder. He does. In fact, I think let's have a little preview.
So if you donate $10 to Mark, he'll play an audio clip. Ooh. That's some pretty fancy e-bagging, Mark.
Of Judge Rinder calling me a stupid moron.
Stupid.
Moron!
That seems like a bargain at $10. What a bargain. I got that shit for free. I didn't even have to fucking pay him. He played that shit for me. Mark, the way you subtly hide your e-bagging, oh my God, it's a masterpiece. Masterpiece. You big fat fucking genetically stunted water-brained fucking Welshman.
I love that. I love
You couldn't
that.
tell.
Absolutely. First of all, I also have to apologise to I keep sounding this bloody West Country here. I have to apologise to Blue Bacon and also I think to Isa, who's going to be streaming in about 5 minutes. I think.
Hey, Puppy
So,
Mummy, glad.
He has to apologize to Blue Bacon because he streamed at the same time Blue Bacon did. And of course, Isa also. First off, Mark, Blue Bacon doesn't give a fucking shit about you. That's one. And Isa's so fucking drunk. Tomorrow, she won't even remember that today happened.
I don't mean to stream over you guys. Hi, Buffy Money, and hi everybody in the chat. I
Hi, Kim. Maddie.
You know, Schrodinger's cat said it a long time ago that the community's gotten so big that we can't help but stream over each other sometimes, and he was right. There's just no way to avoid it sometimes.
Oh, that was great how you tied yourself to Schrodinger's cat, Miss Mandy. Do you think Schrodinger's cat would be proud to hear that you're showing those tiggle bitties to all your fucking clients?
And I will try and keep it as short as I possibly can. We'll aim for an hour at most. Perhaps even less than that. I don't know how long it'll take. But all right. So the original allegations. Now, the original allegations made by Welsh News Network were made.
This stuff isn't super important. We will glance over it, but everybody knows the fucking Troll Patrol Army fucking fall apart shit. Dan's Grinder account popped into the room with an NTFG and also a sorry I'm late. It's all right, bro. You didn't miss much. Scrubzilla says that writes on. Have you seen Jeff? I'm worried about him. I hope that nothing's wrong with Jeff. I know Chili kind of accidentally doxed him live stream or two ago. Yeah, I hope Jeff's all right.
Made on, I think it was a Monday before my birthday stream, wasn't it? So it was 15th of May. There were concerns over actions by certain TPA members relating to the harassment or potential harassment, I should say, of.
So there were issues that, were of concern that the TPA was doing. By the way, MissMandy's a member of the fucking TPA. Mark is that little fucking weasel who's always in the background behind that shit, instigating people to do shit and then running off to snitch to Dan about how they're doing the shit that fucking Mark the Nark, helped instigate getting done. Boy, you are a brown fucking hole, dude.
Jeremiah Payne.
LDOF, for those who are curious. TPA stands for Troll Patrol Army.
Yeah.
And the allegations of harassment wasn't just trolling, it went beyond that.
Yes.
Did it, Newsboy, with your fucking anime icon? Did it really go beyond just allegations?
I don't think they were actually accused by Welsh of harassment. I think they were accused of actions that could be perceived as harassment. I think that was, and again, I'll sort of come into play when we get into some of the legislation that we're going to look at in a minute. Right.
Let me pause this for a minute because Wrangler is in the chat. Good to see you, Wrangler. Wrangler put in the chat at codedfriend.001a frickin' men. Wrangler, I'd like to schedule a time where you and I could sit down and go through the accusations regarding the Troll Patrol Army that were made. I'd like to know what's true and what's not true and who was involved and who wasn't involved. I don't want to cause you to, pick scabs on nearly healed wounds or, cause problems for yourself. But give it some thought when I'm back from vacation, because more time will have passed by. If you want to sit down, and I have some questions about it, the people that were involved and what actually happened. Maybe I could get you and Only Frauds together, and the three of us could have a little convo about it and make sure that the truth about that situation was relayed. Give it a little thought.
Where are we? Let's just start off with allegations. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I apologize. I had a squirrel moment. It does happen sometimes. It's okay. Don't worry about it. The primary allegation was surrounding harassment. Now, originally it was we were concerned that Wrangler and Falcax, in particular, as leaders of the True Army Discord, would be dragged into it and dragged into any behavior on their streams. So that's really one of the things that got me involved, was that those two above all were involved in streams where things like this were going on.
Doc, no worries. I was involved to an extent, and so no worries. We're going to get to that. It's the point is what level do you stop at?
Yeah. I do remember that, and the vast majority of people in TPA, it went no further than any other trolling and funny comments that are made in YouTube videos and side chats. It's just one or two that maybe got a bit too close to the line, and once you cross that line, that's when things start going downhill. Possibly. There's certainly things that could have been done a lot better. But let's just we'll take a look at this, because I have some little niggles with this particular post. This is Only Frauds community post. It was the one that was featured in Jim Finch's article, and it's the second paragraph that we're looking at. It's the one that Welsh covered last night.
Just for the record, Jim Finch is another fucking Welsh simp. Fucking objective. Jesus Christ. Jim Finch. I'm going to hold that back for a little bit. Let me read. Fraud Wrangler says at codedfriend.001 anytime. It's not a wound for me at all. We did nothing wrong. WNN got blue Barra. Blue. It's BLEW. Blue. That kind of blue. WNN got Blue Barra to lie his ass off, saying we could go to jail for a fucking stream raid where he was e-pimping his daughter. Yeah, that Blue Barra ain't really about telling the fucking truth. Not at all. Only Fraud says, I trode Jerry and will continue to do it. So stick it up your limey ass, Nark. He's not a limey. He's a wet-brained, swole-headed, genetically deficient Welshman. They're not limeys. They're under the boot of the limeys. They suck the lime.
When he stated that I should come up to see him face-to-face, man-to-man, and he will live stream it, I said, challenge accepted. Jeremiah has gone too long being the worst dad of the year. True. The worst husband of the year. Also true. And the worst human of the year.
That's debatable.
Yeah, I mean, there's some high contenders there, but we can give him the benefit of the doubt. So they're not so good. He's lied to thousands of people and his supporters. Again, I'd probably say that's true. He refuses help from anybody unless it's help through PayPal. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I've given him plenty of. Yeah, I've given him plenty of pick-me-ups, plenty of scoldings, and told him how it is. I have no reason to doubt that whatsoever. He refuses to even acknowledge a single bit of it. He goes around it instead and rages about it being everyone else's fault. I want you to actually remember that bit here. Rages about it being everybody else's fault. I'll come back to that in a second. He hasn't been made to feel concerned or scared about anything he has done. That changed a few days ago when I made him feel the fear of his actions.
What?
Honestly, this one took me by surprise.
I am at a loss here.
This is my first time reading this.
I know that we normally deal with Chili contradicting himself straight away, but this is a massive contradiction, and this is actually quite an important admission, which we'll come on to in a second. Only Frauds. I've got no reason to dislike Only Frauds at all, but if you're going to do an apology, or if you're going to try to explain something, just please take some advice from me, okay? Don't say one thing and then say the complete opposite thing in the same sentence. It doesn't look good. I'm done apologizing. I will continue to be a thorn in his side. So he's going to continue doing what he's doing. I will continue to hold him accountable. That's absolutely fine. No problems with that. I will push his buttons until he decides enough is enough and he needs to get his shit straight for his daughter's future.
No, he didn't.
You're going to harass the guy until he finally has some sort of epiphany. Honestly, the way that he's been behaving, I would say that it's far more likely that he will completely and utterly lose his crap and
he's going to
go
lose
on a
it.
shooting spree.
Yeah, he's going to
That's
be a
far
ball
more
shooter.
foreseeable than him just saying, okay, enough is enough. Now I'm going to go out and get a job and I'm going to sort my life out. This next part really got me. Only then will I ease up. Now remember this part here? Okay, go away, car. I don't know whose car that was, but go away.
Sorry, I'm traveling through parts unknown.
That changed a few days ago when I made him feel the fear of his actions. And he's talking about he will not ease up until Jeremiah somehow sees the light. He's going to continue with the same intensity that he has demonstrated already. He's not going to reduce that intensity at all, but he's going to continue with at least that level of intensity until the probably impossible happens. Hate me if you think this is wrong. I've proven with my actions that I have a heart. Perhaps he forgot it that day. I don't know. And I proved that I honor my word. Now, I don't actually know if he said that because Balkax Wrangler, Corrections 101, and Only Frauds appeared on the first apology panel. I don't remember off the top of my head if they agreed at that point that they would go back to just laughing at stupid people and taking the mickey out of them, doing what everybody does, including myself. But if he did do that, then he's not honoring his word. He's going back on it.
I actually have a question, and correct me if I'm wrong. Only Fraud's original part in this was his claims that he went to the same hotel that Jeremiah and his family resides at.
Yes. Yeah, that was the big thing.
And on the apology, he said he was not there. But is he contradicting that with this community post in that section that you just read?
That's the way I read it.
He is maybe he's maybe contradicting the intent behind it as opposed to no. I absolutely accept that he didn't go there, but understanding that he didn't go there is
my bad. I'm having an issue with remembering to unmute the mic. My point was these guys are all crying about fucking accountability and shit. And they're, you know, Jeremiah being unhinged. Shiz made a great point. Nobody gave a fuck when Chili was unhinged for a while. He was really fucking pushed out into that paranoid fucking area on the outer edge. I mean, he pulled the fucking gun on a maintenance guy. Nobody gave a shit. Dan's still every fucking day mocking Chili. Every fucking day. So, Mark, if you're so worried about accountability and the mental health of frauditors, why aren't you talking to Dan about the shit he's doing with Chili? Because every fucking day, Dan won't give it a rest. Every fucking day. So it's okay for you to virtue signal, Mark, when it's about Tro-Patro and that shit, but not, you won't look to the other side and see where Dan's doing the exact same shit with Chili. Made up FBI contacts, made up child trafficking charges. There's a bolo out for Chili. The FBI's got Chili dead bang to rights. It's all shit that fucking Welsh just made up out of the fucking blue. And with your accountability shit, Nark the Sarcastic fucking Snitch boy, you don't point the finger at Dan and say, why don't you come clean that you made this shit up? Why don't you lay off Chili because we gave people shit for pushing Jeremiah Payne too far? But no, Mark, you can't say shit to fucking Dan. You can't say shit to Dan. Why? Because he promised you money in the future? Dan ain't got a fucking pot to piss in.
is different to.
He's just like you, Nark. He's just like you. Reject, booted from the army because you couldn't physically hack it, or the military. Both of you are in the same boat. Booted from the military because you couldn't physically fucking hack it. Now you're living on shitty little fucking dole checks. Nark, while you pretend to be a fucking law student for 3 years. The average person can graduate fucking law school in 3 years. You can't. And you're not even studying for a fucking JD. 6 years for what? For what? So you can brag, so you can have clout on YouTube and pretend that someday you're going to be a lawyer? Mark, you will never be a fucking lawyer.
Believing that he actually intended to make Jeremiah Payne believe that he was going there. And that's really where this sort of whole...
I'm sorry, but is that not just as bad?
Yes, it is. And I just want to come back again. Like I said, remember this part. He rages about it being everyone else's fault. Sometimes it is. Sometimes, I say we, but sometimes people on this side of the community are doing the exact things that he's accusing them of. Sometimes Jeremiah Payne is actually telling the truth.
I mean, if I poke a bee's nest and I get stung, it's my fault. But if I'm sitting outside next to a tree and you throw a rock and hit the nest, then it's your fault.
So I'm just going to I'm going to come down to the bottom comment here. This comment here, I absolutely agree with it. I believe you all took this way too far. Don't give money to strangers, God bless you. Only Frauds replies, nope, not at all. If I actually did what I was accused of, then yeah, you could say that. But Only Frauds. And I'm just going to come back up and highlight this again. You did do it. You did do what we accused you of doing.
He just said that he didn't do it, and he's sorry for doing it, and then confirmed, yeah, he did do it.
Right.
But he's sorry.
So yeah, this is one of the main things that really shut up. Fucking phone. Right.
Reaper, this has nothing to do with Wrangler and Fabtax. We want to just
So far they've actually stuck to their word that they would not actually carry on doing this. So they've been really good. I actually wrote to Falcax last night and I said, look, I'm pleased that you're sticking to your word and that you're going back to just doing what we all supported you for in the first place, which is laughing at stupid people and having a good time with it. And so, yeah.
Over here, Nark the Sarcastic failed fucking lawsuit, fucking snitch boy. We're laughing at stupid over here. Only the stupid is you. And Tig old biddies, MissMandy, hire me and I'll show you my daddies.
Both Wrangler and Falcax have actually been really good so far that I'm aware of. I did ask, I asked Becca and Welsh and a few other people, if there's any behaviour like that that's continued, and they've said no. They seem to be, sticking to it. So yeah, absolutely fantastic for them. I'm chuffed to bits with them. What else was I going to show you? Ah, yes. Sorry, I've lost it on the screen.
Sorry,
yeah.
I interrupted. I apologize.
This is the one here.
I want to bring up something that Kick had asked us, because he sees how bad Jeremiah's getting wound up with all this. He asked us to ease off of him for the sake of preventing something to happen. I think we could all agree we don't want to see anybody hurt. Watchdog, debunker, frauditor. We don't want to see nobody get hurt.
Cody, it has to do with a kind of an offset of the community that's not letting it go. That's not Wrangler and Falcax. That's keeping the troll patrol army going.
And you just can't fucking have that, Mandy, right? How about you stop the fucking... How about you go talk to Dan about stopping the misogynistic attacks on women who ask him for receipts or validation, seeing as how you're so big on, authentication or accountability. Why are none of you guys holding Dan accountable for the whole fucking FBI thing? FBI contact, all the shit he said about Chile, about child trafficking, about a bolo being issued for him, all of which Dan said the FBI told him. Bullshitter. Why aren't you talking to Dan about that? Why aren't you talking to Becca about the lie that they had Chile's dog, that her friend owns an animal shelter in the Vegas area and they had Chile's dog? And don't worry, Charlie's safe now. Isn't that what you fucking said, Becca? And then the other day you blew it off as you were the victim of Chinese whispers. No, it's because you guys don't fucking verify anything. Oh, you have Chili's dog, Charlie? Show me a picture. I know what Charlie looks like. Okay, you do have him. Oh, no, that's not Charlie. You don't have Charlie. Maybe I shouldn't report that my friend has Charlie because I have no proof that my friend has Charlie. That kind of fucking shit. That kind of accountability. And not after you get called out for it, make up an excuse where it's not your fault. It was Chinese whispers that were told to you. You're a news network. You're supposed to verify things. And Dan said they had secondary sources for all of the information about Chile, not just the FBI. They had other sources. Everything Dan said was fucking bullshit. Nobody holding him accountable. Why? Dickheads.
Wait.
Frauder the Reaper, they brought up a comment of her. Sorry, but that made me laugh, Mark. And we're all laughing at that mangled fucking Photoshop hand of yours in your fucking picture. And we're laughing about the $157 package of fucking chicken breast you shoplifted from Walmart, which, according to the police report, actually turned out to be an entire shopping cart full of goods that you wheeled around, evading all points of payment and out the fucking door. You guys, a lot of fucking lying going on over there in your little group for two fucking clowns, a water-headed Welsh fucking genetic deficient retard, and a fucking, hey, hire me and I'll show you my tig old biddies, bitch. The fuck? You're talking about fucking accountability? Good God.
Cody asked, so what's going on?
I was talking to Reaper. I was like, which part made it laugh at? I didn't. Okay, and now I'm not going to go into the stream that they did where Only Frauds presented the work parcel or whatever it was. and claim to be in a hotel room in Jeremiah Payne's hometown. We've all seen that. We've seen Welsh News Network covering it. We've seen it in other places as well. I'm not going to go through it again. Now, NCR, you weren't actually in Trove Trove Discord, were you?
I was actually there.
You were there. Okay.
I was the official news correspondent, which was my title there.
Okay. And Mandy was there.
I was there.
I did do some trolling. My first part of it was when I went after Broken Sister, Broken Trust on his stream. And I did the whole thing with the blue line flag.
So the Welsh's original stream was on the 15th of May. On the 12th of May, I think, was actually the Friday before. And that was the day that they did that stream with.
This whole thing is not about accountability. This whole thing is about Mark, Mandy, and NCR spinning a fucking fable where, oh, we were involved, but not with the really bad shit. And before the really bad shit really went down, we said, hey, this isn't appropriate. And we got away from it. You fucking bunch of fucking liars. Good God. I don't know what's uglier, your fucking smoke screen or MissMandy's fucking green hair bar.
The hotel room troll. Somebody sent this to me. I'm going to show it all to you. Now, this screenshot has been edited by me. I've just taken the single part of the screenshot that shows the post. I've also hidden the time. I've censored the timeout so that the time zone of the person who sent it to me can't be derived from the image.
Yeah.
Right. Just so we've got full disclosure going on. All right. This here is one of Only Fraud's posts from that day, the 12th of May. This was in the afternoon. This was before the stream happened. Getting closer, Jerry, and it shows a picture which, as far as has been reported to me, this is in a local-ish area, or is meant to imply that he's actually getting, he's actually going on. I can't speak today. Sorry, he's actually traveling to the location of Jeremiah Payne. Now, this was posted, of course, in Trove Patrol Army Discord. Now, I'm just going to, you know what? I'm actually going to put a poll up. We haven't done a poll for a while.
Now, I did.
Why talk about it now? Because he's never told the fucking truth about it. And it's a shining example about how these two dopes who are sitting here calling for someone else to be accountable don't call out their own boy for his lack of accountability and regular and routine fucking lies. Is that good for you, Nima? I mean, if you don't want to listen, you really don't have to be here. Just saying.
Leave before the hotel stream.
Same.
I left the Troll Patrol and stopped watching those streams. I would say a week before that went down.
I left while he was supposedly there. Like you went there. Yeah, I'm out. When they started calling him, when it became real life stuff, when it became IRL stuff,
yeah,
then I was out. Like that's, you don't mess with someone's real life. I'm down for a good troll. You know, I even stream some of it on my channel.
Yeah,
I don't see anything wrong with a good troll, but when you're messing with someone's real life, then it becomes too much. Then it becomes stalking.
Okay, so
in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the legal definition of stalking and the probably a personal definition of stalking. The legal
becomes wrong with a good troll, but when you're when they started calling him, when it became real life stuff, when it became IRL stuff,
yeah,
then I was out. Like that's, you don't mess with someone's real life. I'm down for a good troll. You know, I even stream some of it on my channel.
Yeah,
I don't see anything wrong with a good troll, but when you're messing with someone's real life, then it becomes too much. Then it becomes stalking.
Okay, so according to MissMandy, when you're messing with someone's real life, she doesn't mind a good troll, but when you're messing with someone's real life, it becomes stalking. Hold on, I have a sneeze coming. Yeah, nice. Saying that the FBI is investigating Chile when they're not, that's not fucking around with someone's real life. It's kind of defamation, which is a real life issue. Saying that there's a multi-state bolo out for Chile and intimating that that bolo was issued by the FBI, that's fucking with someone's real life. Accusing Chile of child trafficking, that's fucking with someone's real life. Oh, it's bad when the boys who are stealing attention from Dan do it, because that's what this is really about. Dan's numbers were dropping. Dan's attendance was dropping. Now Dan's got to buy subs. Now Dan's got to buy views. Now Dan's got to buy likes. And Wrangler and Falcax, who were gaining subs, gaining views, and Witch of Heart, Mark's little boyfriend, Mark's little fake boyfriend, who Mark thinks refers to Witch of Heart as his wifey. And Witch of Heart says their relationship is a fucking joke. These are the people here that are talking about fucking accountability. Right? So Wrangler and Falcax get attacked by Welsh News Network because Witch of Heart is pissed off because Falcax left Playboys in Crime to go and do something with Wrangler, because Playboys in Crime really wasn't going anywhere. Do you get it? Do you see it? This isn't about accountability. This isn't about accountability. This is about little vindictive personal fucking grudges. Falcax, Wrangler, Mark, Witch of Heart, all involved in the Troll Patrol Army stuff. Mark was involved in the Troll Patrol Army stuff. And Mark does not honestly account for his role in the Troll Patrol Army shit, but he's here calling for fucking accountability. It's amazing shit.
Okay,
so
in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the legal definition of stalking and the probably a personal definition of stalking would perhaps differ, but I want to actually ask the community, I want to ask my audience, sorry, if you saw this picture now, take into account anything that we've learned since, right? I want to try and establish what you, if you were seeing this for the first time, would think. And this isn't to cast any shade on any frauds or anybody else, but I just want to actually gauge an idea of what people in the audience here would understand to be the truth of it. You know, would you believe that Only Frauds was actually traveling to the location? Because I do understand that there were several people who did believe this, myself included, actually, but I only saw.
Nima, Dan never spoke to the FBI. Never one fucking time. Tina Slay may have spoke to the FBI. See, the lie Dan manufactured came from Tina Slay, an associate of Tina, an unnamed confidential informer, associate of Tina Slay. Okay. Dan never fucking talked to the FBI. Why would the FBI talk to a fucking Welsh guy about Chili DeCastro, a U.S. citizen who's in the U.S.? Dan says he called the FBI person he called was at the embassy in London. Okay. All Dan, we're talking about accountability here. All Dan has to do is pull his phone records and show that he called. He doesn't have to say anything about who he talked to. He just has to show on his phone records for that period of time a phone call to the London embassy. You know why he doesn't? That would validate, that would attempt to, that would at least partially validate his story that he called the London embassy and spoke to the FBI agent at the London embassy. All he has to do is show his call records and show that he called the London embassy. Accountability, right? That's a simple fucking thing to do. You're not outing anyone, anything like that. He won't show that because Dan doesn't think he's accountable. And he's a fucking liar. Get it? Do you see? Do you see, Nima? Do you see?
Saw the stream. This is an image that was sent to me after the fact. So let's just put the poll up. And I'm purely curious in everybody's answer as to whether you'd actually believe this to be true or not. Tani, this is an image that was posted the day of the original troll stream in the Troll Patrol Army Discord, where Only Frauds,
Right, Kim Crawford,
at least demonstrated, or at least indicated that he was traveling to Jeremiah Payne's location. And yeah, Diamond Dave says I'm dubious by nature, so that could easily be Google Maps. And as far as I'm aware, that's actually where it came from. I don't have any reason to debate that at all.
Again, we're not saying he went there.
Yeah,
we're not. We can't prove that. All we are saying is if somebody is sending this stuff out there, you would believe it to be, especially if it's somebody that you are trusting, because you would feel like, okay, are they really going there? I mean, if this was a troll, what are you trolling us as comrades or what?
Okay, so I'm gonna leave the poll up there for a few more seconds, just while we gauge this, and then what we'll do is we will actually look at the harassment legislation in Tennessee, which is where Jeremiah.
Pull your audience, Tard Boy. Nima. Nima asks, did you see my question about who said they were going to chase down Chile using followers' money? Who was it? I said that I was contemplating picking up Chile on the warrant out of Ohio. I did say that. I said I was contemplating it. I talked about it a couple of times. I didn't have an opportunity to do it. I did jokingly say that I would open up a GoFundMe with, nothing higher than a $20 donation. Yeah, I said all that stuff. I said I was contemplating it. That means thinking about it. I never said I was going to do it. I hope that clears things up for you, sweetie.
My opinion, I believe at the time was indicated to be in any fraud's community post. And I'll show you specifically the section that we were concerned that he was getting close to. I'm not saying that he actually broke the law. I don't necessarily believe that he actually got to that line or crossed it, but he was flying a bit too close to the sun, in my view.
Yeah.
And that's really that's how this started. It was an attempt to say that, guys, you're at risk of taking this beyond the point of no return. We kind of do need you to bring it back a little bit.
Hey, Vlad.
And that was the whole intention behind Welsh's stream. Well, I know, of course, because I was there. All right, so let's end the poll. There we go. Okay, that's 58% of people said that they would think actually that was true, and they would fall for that troll. I'm one of those people who genuinely believe this was real. The person who sent this to me believed that it was real, and that person is not up on panel either. So, what about you guys? Would you?
I would.
Honestly, I'm conflicted because if I knew it was a joke, right? Like
the reason I'm bringing this up is sorry to interrupt you, but the reason I'm bringing this up is that sort of the defense to this was that it was an obvious troll. It was blatantly obvious, according to any frauds, that this was a troll and that this wasn't real. And trying to sort of really get to an understanding of whether, because we're all reasonable people. Everybody in the side chat, I assume, is a reasonable person. I hope a reasonable person. NCR, I'm not so sure about, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah.
But if it came from somebody that I knew was overseas, I wouldn't believe it. But if it's somebody who's in the States with us, I would be more inclined to believe it. And
yeah. And Kim hits the nail on the head here. Whether this is legal doesn't matter. That is a fraudulent stance for our community, and our ethical and moral standards is the beginning of going too far, in my opinion. That's basically why I left the True Army.
It's a big 10-4 on that one.
Yeah.
So we can take this down now. I think we're done with that. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the legislation. I think this is the last part where I will actually cover any of the original things that happened. We're going to go into why it's important to have the accountability and why it was dealt with in public after we just have a quick look at this. Now, this might be a little bit confusing for the non-initiated among us, but we're all reasonably okay with looking at legislation by now.
I do it on the daily.
Yes. So this is the current Tennessee harassment.
This is really not pertinent to. Oh, Shiz got up there.
The next one up.
She says, I just don't get how everyone laughed when worse was done to Chili, who is an armed paranoid nut job in massive numbers, but now it's an issue. Yeah. The point you made today and the point you were making 2 months ago.
He is now, Kate. I don't know that.
Yeah, right there.
I see more Peter and grievances about trolling behavior to Kate as well. Honestly, several people I know have. And again, we can.
Several people you know have, Mark, but you never would because you're a clout chaser and a fucking bootlicker and you're punching down, dipshit.
We can bring Kate up another time. I don't. At the moment, I'm personally trying to just deal with one thing at a time.
Yeah, you'll blow the Kate reference off and talk about bringing her up later, which you never fucking did, because this isn't about fucking accountability, Mark. This is a hit job on Wrangler and Falcax. This isn't about accountability. This is a hit job on Wrangler, Falcax, and Only Frauds, while you let that little fucking chicken thief, the shoplifter, and regular fucking scammer married to a fucking capital murderer sit in your fucking chat and fire shots at them too. You a shitbag, Nark, you little snitch boy. You a shitbag.
I want to shout at maintenance now. I don't remember the maintenance man off the top of my head.
I do. That's when he took the gun and I think it was town
The
hall.
Ironton City Hall. The incident where he unplugged the extension cord. Not the extension cord, but the vacuum cleaner cord. I apologize.
Yeah. No. That wasn't when the gun got pulled. This NCR news guy doesn't fucking know shit. And MissMandy's there just yeah-ing him. When did Chili pull a gun when he was at Ironton? It's not when it fucking happened, dipshit. You guys are fucking dumb. That's why you're not talking about the Chili shit, because you don't fucking know it. You're talking about the shit you know, Mandy, Mark, NCR, because you were every day involved in it. Never fucking said, hey, whoa, this is too much. You waited till after the shit fell apart, and now you're doing a hit job so you can pull back and say, we weren't fucking part of it. We objected. We weren't part of it. You never fucking objected to anything. You got shit sprayed on you, and now you're trying to convince everybody that you don't fucking stink too.
Did he almost shoot him?
No.
This is news to me if he almost shot him.
No.
I know he snapped at him and was very aggressive.
Yeah, I remember that part.
I don't remember him almost shooting him. I just remember him taking a gun into a building he wasn't supposed to take a gun into. I don't even remember him pulling it out, but
Yeah,
maybe he did.
I agree.
I don't remember. But I think he was kind of paranoid and a little bit crazy long before we came into the picture.
Yeah, probably. All right, so one of the I'm going to move along from the original allegations now because
Writes on, puts in the chat, Chili pulled gun when Amazon delivery guy walked up driveway in the area James Sheets was killed. Nothing to fucking do at Ironton. Thank you, Writes on. These dopes don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They just talk. Accountability starts with knowing what you're talking about before you start fucking talking. That way you're not backpedaling all the time to fucking correct shit you said that was wrong, which is something the Welsh News Network and the fucking Associated Simp Squad and Simp Network never fucking do. Never fucking do. Dan's a megalomaniac. He's smarter than everyone alive. Dan is smarter than the U.S. government, the UK government. Dan doesn't need to correct himself. Dan never gets anything wrong. Dan's a douche.
a lot of them have already been dealt with and they've been course, Wrangler, Falcax, and Dan from Welsh News Network did their stream the other day, shook hands at the end of it, and agreed to move on past it. So I'm not going to drag up all of the original allegations. This was just one that wasn't particularly covered. I think was perhaps one of the most serious allegations.
Isa says she can't keep up anymore. Don't drink so fucking much. It makes people stupid. Remember the shit you fucking posted about me, Isa, because I told the fucking truth about Tina Slay? Let me tell it again because you're here, Isa. I saw the fucking community post you put up. You talked a lot of shit about me the day after you were in my chat, drunk as a fucking skunk, talking about what a great guy I was. I said the fucking coroner's toxicology report said that there was methamphetamine in Caleb Slay's system when he fucking died, which means he was under the influence, a high amount of it, by the way. He was under the influence of methamphetamine when he got into his altercation with the fucking police, who were trailing a known fucking drug dealer. Oh, and Caleb just happens to be on the fucking scene, high on fucking meth. But Caleb was a fucking angel, Isa. Caleb never did anything wrong. Maybe you should lay off the fucking alcohol, Isa, sober up a little bit and figure out that Tina Slay is just a fucking sov-sit, anti-authority bullshit artist whose attitude probably got in her fucking son's head, and that combined with the fucking methamphetamine led to his untimely demise. You want to say I'm a fucking asshole because I told the truth about that? I can live with the fact that you think I'm an asshole. Why don't you go hang out with Uncle Artie, Isa? According to drunkenness, Isa's the fucking bumbling fool. Why don't you go hang out with Uncle Artie at the fucking bar and grill of stupidity, and you might not seem as dumb as you are when you're standing next to Artie. Run along, douche.
The rest of the allegations are all fairly minor, I think, in comparison. And again, the only reason that I took such issue with this was because of if it hadn't got to the point of illegality, I could see it getting to that point. And that's really why I brought that up. So why was it addressed in public? That's my next point on the list. Sorry. It was addressed in public for one very specific reason. If you imagine the scale of private to public as a one-way street, all right, you start off at the one end of the one-way street. You're in private. As you progress further on, you start getting.
Hold on a sec, because Mark's being a fucking bore fest here in this video, and this is worth acknowledging. Isa says, Isa, were you sober or were you fucking drunk when you said it? Because most of the time I've encountered you, you're fucking 3 sheets to the wind. Isa says, nope, I said you're a cunt for saying shit about a grieving mother, no matter the circumstances, and for being homophobic. Cry some more. Isa, Tina Slay is grieving 2.5 fucking years later. Really? Maybe it's people like you that have propped up her bullshit and her lies and fed her fucking celebrity status. Maybe that's what's keeping her from working through the grieving. 2.5 years after the fucking death of someone is too long to be grieving. It causes fucking mental problems. And Tina Slay has mental problems. She can't tell the fucking truth about what happened to her son. She wasn't there. She's making up lies. So you can do the whole virtue signal grieving mother shit. That doesn't give her carte blanche to say shit like she said all over YouTube that the DEA agent shot up her son with methamphetamine after they shot him in the head twice with bullets, because Tina Slay knew what was in the autopsy report before a year ago she did her little celebrity tour on YouTube, not based on what happened to Caleb, but based on being the woman who talked the most shit about Chili. And now we're finding out that Tina's a fucking pathological liar. Tina is a pathological liar who cannot own up to the truth about the situation under which her son died, the facts of it. So what did she do? She came on YouTube and became an instant celebrity by talking shit about chili and saying a lot of things that probably were not fucking true, like the needles that were found in Caleb's room. Caleb had moved out of Tina's house 4 years earlier, but there was still a box full of syringes in his fucking room. Tina's sister found the box of syringes, and Tina tried to blame the syringes on chili. When the police searched Caleb's house after his death, they found a quantity of used syringes containing both blood and chemical residue, drug residue. So if there were needles in Tina's house in Caleb's bedroom, and there were needles found in the search of Caleb's house, I would have to say the needles were Caleb's, and Caleb was using while he lived at mommy's house, age 21 and under. He moved out when he was 21. So Caleb was using while he lived in the same residence as Tina. Here's another little lie Tina tells. Caleb was the head of security at the club he worked at for 8 years. He was 25 when he died. 25 minus 8 makes him 17 years old. There's no fucking 17-year-old kid anywhere in America who's the head of security at a fucking club. None. Nowhere. It's a fucking lie. It's all a lie to prop up this idea of how Caleb was a security guy and he was going to go to school to become a police officer and he was going to clean up the Springfield, Missouri Police Department of all its corruption. Springfield, Missouri was robbed of Caleb Slay, the Springfield Serpico. Bullshit. Caleb Slay was a fucking drug user. Tina, the last time I saw her speak a couple of weeks ago on YouTube, said her son smoked dope and experimentally used Molly. Good job, Tina. You got a court case coming up and you're out on YouTube talking about how your son experimentally used drugs. Good fucking job, Tina. That's how fucking dumb you are. It's not Nima or Isa. It's not fucking grief. It's stupidity. It's not grief. It's stupidity. And she doesn't even, I mean, at least Isa, you have a fucking excuse. You're drunk all the fucking time. Tina's sober when she says this shit. I hope that helps you to understand, Isa.
Into the point where you're sort of the equivalent of Discord voice chats. You go a little bit further along, and then you're equivalent of the text chats that's open to everybody in the Discord. You go a little bit further along, and you know eventually you get to the public domain. If something is initiated in public, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to get to deal with it in private after the fact. Right? You can only go one way along the one-way street. You can't go backwards. If I, for example,
this fucking Mark is an idiot. Nima says, coded. I'm honest. You can't say you can't mourn your child forever. I can say you can't mourn your child forever. There's a difference between sadness and mourning. There's even a subtle difference between mourning and grief. Mourning is a pretty severe mental state, okay? Mourning is 1 minute you're happy, a second later, for no reason, you're sobbing uncontrollably. That's what fucking mourning is. Anyone who stays in mourning for 2.5 years isn't mentally fucking sound. I'm not saying you won't carry some sadness about it through your life. Yeah, absolutely, sure. Mourning's a fucking extreme. Mourning is an extreme emotional state. You don't stay in mourning for 2.5 fucking years unless you have a mental issue. And the mental issue Tina has is she will not accept the facts under which her son died, which includes, according to an autopsy report, that he was high on meth when he was armed with a gun and got into a physical altercation with police. And all he had to do was the DEA agents weren't looking for Caleb. All he had to do was sit in the fucking car and keep his mouth shut. That's all he had to do. The DEA agent told him to wait in the fucking car. All he had to do was wait in the car. If it was me while I was waiting in the car, I would have got the fucking gun off me and locked it in the fucking glove box. And then when the DEA agents or anyone else of authority came to the car, I would have said, I need to inform you, I have a gun in the car. And the next question from any authority figure is going to be, where's the gun? Then all Caleb has to say is it's locked in the glove box. And the police are going to say, don't touch the glove box. But instead, Caleb, armed with a weapon, after getting back in the vehicle, had to get out of the vehicle and start walking toward the fucking house. That's what caused the fucking problem. Tina won't fucking accept it. Tina wasn't there. She was never there. She was up the road after the fact, like we saw with the Laney Hudson case. The police don't let you near the fucking scene. They're not letting Tina there. She's a 300-pound fucking woman. They're not going to put 4 officers on her to barricade her from making a charge to get to her fucking son. That's why she was way the fuck up the road. Way the fuck up the road. But she tries to talk like she was there, and she wasn't. You can grieve all you want, but if you're still mourning after 2.5 years, you have a fucking mental problem.
Example, told everybody that in a live stream that NCR had murdered MissMandy. And then I message him afterwards and say, oh, sorry, I didn't really mean it. I was only joking. As far as the public is concerned, as far as my audience is concerned, I'm still saying that NCR has bumped off MissMandy. And that's why
different example.
I mean, you could have gone with a joke
a cat or a dog or something else, but that's okay.
Yes.
I know, Dave, right?
I'm a more student. But no, seriously, if I make that statement in public, I've then got to retract it or apologize for it or promise not to do it again in public. I can't do that in the private sphere. Does that make sense? Look,
there it goes. Rest in peace, Mandy. Oh boy.
Look, man, I can't do.
Well, I kind of owed you for the britches joke. Britches get stitches.
Britches get stitches.
My point is entirely this: that because the original troll, and I fully accept that it was a troll. I believe that's what it was. The original troll was done in public, and so while it can be encouraged in private that there is a retraction, apology, whatever needs to be done that takes place, which is actually what happened. There were several people, including myself, messaging Wrangler and Falcax. I don't know about Corrections 101 and Only Frauds. I don't know if they were contacted, but certainly Wrangler and Falcax. In my case, I spoke to Falcax over the weekend. I spoke to them both. I spoke to them both the morning of Welsh's live stream, so the Monday morning. Wrangler in MissMandy's voice chat and Falcax in private messages, and said, "Well, look, this is happening. It's best that you don't ignore it, and address it now sooner rather than later, because." And really, it was vitally important that they had that time to correct the matter themselves, but it was also important that it didn't drag on and on for several weeks, which is really, it's what happened in the end. It did drag on for a good week or so. It was important that it was dealt with in a timely manner, but by still giving them the time.
Nima, the answer to your question, I've discussed it in detail on past broadcasts, try to get up to speed. I have lost a child, so, I know what I'm fucking talking about. If you're like Shiz posted, 6 to 12 months. If you're not outside the fucking active grief after fucking 12 months, you need fucking counseling. You don't need to be on YouTube recounting the same fucking lies over and over again that are the very reason why you cannot move out of the grief cycle. The first step is accepting what happened. Tina's not even there yet, and it's 2.5 fucking years later. But by all means, if she wants to be a miserable fucking mope her whole life, she can be a miserable fucking mope her whole life. But if she's going to wind up doing the fucking off herself, if she doesn't fucking see somebody and get fucking help. I'm not, this is what I don't fucking get. The people who support Tina's fucking false narrative are just pushing Tina to stay in the fucking grief cycle for their own benefit, for the clicks and views. That's why they have Tina up. They don't have Tina on their broadcast because they care about Tina. They have Tina on their fucking broadcast for clicks and views. That's why Tina's now year-old bullshit is no longer fucking palatable for anybody. That's why she's not on anyone's broadcast except the fucking Welsh Lie Network. She put out a piece with Ironton Auditor in April after her attorney came from California to visit her and shoot a promotional video to advertise himself. Not to help Tina, to advertise himself. And Tina went on Ironton Auditor's broadcast right after the attorney went back, and she guaranteed there'll be a lawsuit filed by May 1st. We're in fucking August. Where's the lawsuit? Where's the fucking lawsuit, Tina? Tina, this shit, you had an attorney the day after your son got killed. Where's that attorney? Where is he? Now you're making up all kinds of bullshit, unproved lies about that fucking attorney. It's 2.5 years later. There's no lawsuit filed. It'll be 3 years in fucking November. There's no lawsuit filed. You know why that is? Because everybody who talks to Tina figures out her fucking story isn't true. That's why there's no fucking lawsuit. But you guys who keep bringing her up on fucking panels and keep, oh, that's such a sad story. Oh, it must be horrible. Oh. You know what's fucking worse? Not accepting the truth of what happened and continuing in a fucking mental state that's not healthy to fucking be in. So you can sit there and say, oh, it's her child. She lost her child. She can grieve as long as she wants to. Yeah, she can grieve as long as she wants to. She can go insane too if she wants to, because that's what happens when you stay in an active grieving process too long. And too long, according to clinical standards, is in excess of 12 months. Most cultures, we don't in America, almost all the third world countries have a end of mourning ceremony on the 1-year anniversary of a person's death. Ancient, primitive cultures understand that past 12 months, there's a fucking problem. YouTubers don't seem to fucking get it, though. And you encourage, oh, express your grief. Oh, tell us tearjerker so we can keep everyone here and click and view. Hey, give super chats. You're fucking savages.
Time to do their thing and to make their own minds up and apologize themselves. Because otherwise, we're looking at what could potentially have happened was, we sort of ignored it and we just said, hey, look, you should apologize. We ignored it and let it sort of drag on, and then they go and do something even worse and do end up breaking the law. So that's why it needed to be dealt with swiftly, but not too swiftly, if that makes sense. It's also why it had to be dealt with in public.
Yeah. But
there was a lot of communications behind the scenes. Probably about 95 to 98% of my communications were never even aired. I've spoken to Falcax most days, I think, since it happened, since I left the Discord. So most of what's gone on hasn't actually been seen. There's been a lot of talking behind the scenes and in private, a lot of negotiations back and forth.
Mark is now admitting that the public fucking hatchet job he's doing here is the result of Dan not being able to squeeze what he wanted out of the people he was attempting to gain control over by waving, we have bad evidence about you in front of them. Accountability, Mark. It's your turn to be accountable. Let me address this one. Kim Crawford in the chat says, oh, shiz happens. I saw something in a chat and I cannot remember from who about NyQuil. That would be the rumor that either MissMandy or Frauditer Reaper erroneously started that shiz used NyQuil to put her kids to bed or to get them to fucking pass out. But then the alarming part of this fucking, that's alarming enough, the fucking bullshit and lies that people like MissMandy are willing to fucking tell. Well, a little more alarming, Kim, is your statement that, and I remember you saying, Kim, that I had given Benadryl to my kid at one point for calming her down. Wow, you're a fucking abusive parent, Kim. That I wouldn't go admitting that shit in public. You don't give Benadryl to a kid to fucking calm them down. How often do you do that? Because if you've done it more than once, somebody should probably contact DFACS. You dumb fuck. Jesus Christ, you fucking people are stupid. Kim, I've seen a lot of your posts and shit, and you are an exceptionally idiotic individual.
Which is all fairly normal, but obviously, yeah, you guys don't get to see that.
I want to say, personally, I'm good with Valcax and Wrangler, and I have no, like, there was some tension there for a little while, but apologies have been made from Wrangler, and I'm good. I'm good with them now. So everything's fine. There's no hard feelings. And this isn't about them. For those that are just coming in thinking they know what's going on, this isn't about them. We haven't even brought up the other person, by the way.
Now, I'll say this. Some of it needed to be handled publicly. Some of it needed to be handled privately. And I think that's what they were trying to do. You know, stuff that affected individuals personally, I think they handled it privately. The stuff that needed to be addressed generally was brought to the public.
Yeah, any sort of anything that related to the original stream involving the troll, that was dealt with publicly. But anything that was personal between the creators or anything to do with PIC, for example, sort of extended from that, that was dealt with in private or in the Discord.
Are people fighting? I didn't see people fighting. Hey, Beanie.
I will admit, I threw a chair at the guy, the Good Humor Man, because he kept on saying he wasn't going to supply Klondike bars to the south.
He was just trying to break chairs. That's all it was. Break chairs and take names. Wait a minute, Klondike bars to the south?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to put a stop hold on them, so I just threw a chair at his truck.
Is there fighting? Sorry, I don't know.
I didn't see fighting. If there was no fighting, don't fight.
I didn't see any fighting.
Unless this Klondike bar thing is not happening in that case.
And I was just throwing a chair.
It seems odd that MissMandy would be telling people not to fight when you have a reputation for going around behind people's backs and fucking whispering the rumors that start fights. Didn't you tell Shiz she should look a little closer at Frauditer Reaper's shoplifting conviction because there was more to it than just the petty theft of fucking chicken breast? Didn't you fucking say that there, MissMandy? Fucking backbiter. They're all backbiters in that little fucking simp squad. You be careful if you're fucking trafficking or interacting with these fucking shitheels. They love to fucking eat their own.
Good Humor Man's truck.
Epiphanies, how are you? Kelly Fitzpatrick is in. How are you, dear? All right, so what's next on the list? Accountability. Why do we need, and this is something that the side chat can help with actually, why do we need to hold each other in this community accountable for wrongful actions? Why does everybody think that's important?
The premise is it's important to hold people accountable. So why Mark does your boy Dan get to run around saying the worst day of my life was when my best friend from childhood's brains were blown all over my uniform? You, man, your childhood buddy, according to your story, was in the fucking army. Why the fuck are you two together in a combat situation? Why? It's a tall fucking tale, Dan. You said it. Nobody coaxed it out of you. Nobody pried it out of your fucking hands. You brought it up. When you're asked when you're asked to show some accountability, to authenticate your story, You say, I'm not doing it for the sake of the family. If you cared about the family, you wouldn't have fucking brought it up to begin with. You weren't doing anything to benefit the family or the man who died. You were boo-hooing. Boo, the worst day of my life. You made his death about you. Shitbag fuck. I'll hold you accountable for that, and I won't stop fucking talking about it until everybody knows it's a bullshit story. So bring some fucking proof, Dan. Bring some proof so you don't make Nark the fucking sarcastic fucking squeal boy look like a fucking dumbass while he reads your fucking script.
Personally, I think it's because we need to hold ourselves with integrity.
If we do get carried away, I think we call each other a family. If we do believe that, then we need to say, hey, you're getting carried away. You need to step back and calm down. And just like we encourage each other, we also need to be able to step in and say, hey, you're going too far.
Yeah, you're going too far, but you don't fucking listen. Throwing your own friends under the fucking bus is going too far. Misty Eyed Girl says, I'm behind as usual at codedfriend.001. Tina isn't even able to mourn properly because she is constantly bringing the shockingness of Caleb's death. Yeah, I agree. She's doing it to herself. And there are a lot of people on YouTube that are encouraging her to relive this shit for the benefit, not of Tina Slay, but for the benefit of their own YouTube channels. Because this is a fucking tearjerker. This is a tearjerker. So bust out your wallets and do some fucking super chatting.
Rajara hits the nail on the head. If we don't, that makes us no better than frauditors.
I love Rajara. She's great.
Tell me that does not hit the nail on the head.
It definitely does.
You know,
It actually,
Kimmy, how are you, my dear?
well, we had a discussion like this last year. You, me, CA, and Blue Bear on a video I had a dilemma on doing about the cops in Colorado. Because you guys, Mark, do you remember that discussion we had?
I do.
Now, I want to ask you, how upset was I to do that kind of video? Because we are strong, staunchly, supporting law and order.
You were very distraught about it. You felt that you were almost betraying our side. You felt that you were going to get a lot of hatred for it, that a lot of people were going to unsub from you. You felt that people just wanted you to support the police and be very pro-police and not question them. And sort of your main concern that the community was going to turn against you, which I told you was absolute BS, that they would trust your integrity, and that they would respect you for that, and for holding the police accountable for anything they have actually done wrong. And if I remember correctly, you gained subs as a result of that.
I did. And I will fill in the basics of what the video was about. 3 cops left a woman in a cruiser on train tracks, and the cruiser was struck by a train.
Oh my gosh.
And they were more concerned about trying to find a potential weapon in the person's vehicle instead of moving the vehicle off the tracks before the train came.
You can have a different opinion.
Yep, everybody has a right to an opinion here. The only thing I tell the mods is if somebody's being a dick, you can play with them, you can do whatever you want with them. But
if somebody's being a dick, Mark says you can play with them. Little Freudian slip there, Marco. I know what you like to play with. That's why your wifey's got a mustache like a man.
Yeah, if somebody really is stepping over the mark, then I'll ban them. But for the most part, people can just say whatever they want.
Yeah, honey, you can have a different opinion.
But yes, we need that accountability, because otherwise I say to people all the time, the police don't get to choose. I say to Chili in the side chats, the police don't get to choose which laws they uphold and which laws they don't, because the second they do that, they lose the moral right whatsoever to uphold any law. You either treat all laws equally or you don't. If one law is not equal to another law, or in terms of importance, then there is no equality of law. Just as if one person is not treated equally or not considered to be equal, then there is no equality. Yeah, and even though frauditors, sovereign citizens are pathetic.
Mark is saying our laws. Let me remind you, Mark is not a fucking U.S. citizen. Mark's commenting on U.S. matters. He's not commenting on fucking Welsh matters. There are no our laws, Mark. You're not a fucking U.S. citizen. And frankly, you got no business sticking your fucking nose in here while you're sitting back home in fucking Wales collecting a fucking dole check, unwilling to go get a fucking job while you pretend to be a fucking law student for 7 fucking years. Hold yourself accountable, dipshit. You're not part of the fucking we. You're them. You're the douchebags that over 200 years ago, we took up arms and sent fucking packing. You're not part of the we, Mark. You're the only douchebags on the fucking home island. You're the only douchebags on the fucking home island that didn't break away from England. The Scots rebelled, got their independence. The Irish rebelled, got their independence. You Welsh fags, are still with the fucking boot on your neck. You soft little fucking weasels. You're not part of the we, narc. You're not part of the fucking we. Them. You're the them that we sent home centuries ago because you were too big of a bunch of fucking douchebags to keep you here. And we killed a lot of you to get fucking rid of you. So don't put yourself in the fucking we, and it's not our laws. You're not part of our laws. You're a fucking foreigner that's in the American market grifting money off American citizens. You're not part of the we. You're not. It's not our laws. You're a douche. You're a douche who's part of a tiny little douche country, 1/6 the size of Alabama, who's been under a foreign fucking ruler for 1,000 fucking years. First the Romans, then the Brits. You love to get down on your knees and get your ass up in the air and show how fucking submissive you are. Don't fucking we here, dipshit.
Sorry, that was my grandmother ringing me. Where was I? What was I saying?
We have to have the accountability to.
Yes, we have to hold ourselves accountable, because if we don't, the frauditors are going to do it for us, and they will be far less polite than we will be to each other.
Exactly.
You know, it's.
I'll be honest. You know, if I wanted to, I could just cover, you know, frauditors. But if I see a cop that's doing something wrong, I will call it out, because I talked to Blue Bear about this. He's told me, because I've become, you know, I was becoming friends with him. I'm like, Blue Bear, you're a good person. I don't want to upset you. I don't want to ruin, the start of our friendship here with this. He's like, no, because you're doing what the good cops want you to do and exposing bad. If we don't expose bad with cops or frauditors, or even with ourselves, we have no integrity.
Thanks, NCR, for exposing cops that left a woman in a fucking car on train tracks. You're doing great work, man. Nobody but you would have caught that one. Thanks for exposing the obvious. Hey, can you do me a favor? After the sun rises every day, can you send me a message that says it's light outside? Fucking moron. Kim Crawford in the chat says that highest priestess Wrangler did too. He said I passed info to WNN and Reaper. That is not true. If I said something, it was only if I said, see, there you go, backtracking. If I said something, it was only what I said. I was open about everything I have said. I don't know WNN. Well, Kim, you strike me as the kind of person who would snitch behind another person's back. I'm saying you strike me as the kind of person that would do that. You strike me as the kind of a person who would do it for attention. And you strike me as the kind of person that would lie about it after the fact. Yeah.
That's absolutely right, NCR. If we're not going to call each other out, then nobody is, and then we're just playing a placating game.
What? If we're not calling each other out, then nobody is, and we're just playing a placating game. Holy shit, I'm in the middle of fucking breaking down a fucking stream from Witch of Heart, Mark's fucking wifey. Mark, wake up. She says your relationship is a fucking joke. Mark's wifey, Witch of Heart, I was on the stream there with Mark, Witch of Heart, and Dan, and was berated the whole fucking time. What right do I have to ask questions about Dan's own fucking statements about his life? MissMandy popped in during that broadcast and started shit talking me. Oh, eat your fucking words. Let's hear that again.
We have no integrity.
Yeah, you're right. You have no integrity.
That's absolutely right, NCR. If we're not going to call each other out, then nobody is, and then we're just playing a placating game.
5720. Hang on, I gotta grab a pen. I'm isolating that fucking clip. Oh my God, am I isolating that clip? $57.23. Mandy plays the fucking hit. Why are you lying about when you got called out for fucking throwing Frauder the Reaper under the bus? Huh? Your snitch out of Frauder the Reaper seems to be in line with your holding people accountable thing. But after the fact, you lie about it and say you never did it. And you say the person who you snitched out Reaper to, now you're accusing that person of making shit up. It's time we hold you accountable, MissMandy. Maybe, MissMandy, maybe you have a fucking serious problem. Maybe you have a serious mental problem, and you've infiltrated too many YouTube channels by showing your tiggle bitties around. Whoring yourself around really doesn't help with your credibility. 57.23. Maybe you didn't learn that one in ethics class. I doubt you took anything that resembles an ethics class in your moral fabric. Ooh, bad.
Are you here?
I'm here.
Okay. I didn't know if y'all could hear me or not because it went quiet. It's getting scary and lonely and dark in here.
I promise you, in safe hands, I did not do anything nefarious. Although Mark has implied that, but I have not.
Am I dead?
Nor you, and nor are any of us here. I just stopped messing around in my chats while you've gone. All right, I'm not going to have trolling shit in here. All right. This is, the whole point of this stream, like I said before, was to make sure that everybody understood why it was dealt with publicly. The fact that there were things that took place behind the scenes. There were things that took place for quite some time before Welsh's first stream was streamed.
Yeah, corrections, but your crap ain't true. And I liked you, corrections.
I liked you, corrections. That's the same shit you said to me the other day. Do you read lines off cue cards, MissMandy? How to be a polite Southern woman. Cue card number 12. I liked you, corrections. Kim Crawford says in the chat at Frauder the Wrangler, so what if I looked at WNN? Oh, only recent. Nope. I don't lie, coded, or snitch. Grow up. I'm 65 years old. What does it matter who I listen to? I try to get what's going on from both sides. I'm sure you try to get a lot from both sides, Kim, but it doesn't have anything to do with the fucking truth. And I hear you charge for it, but that's just what I hear. You do lie. Everybody lies. So don't say you don't lie, because that's a fucking lie. You know, the liar's paradox, you just fucking committed it. You do lie. Everybody lies. So don't say you don't lie. You're 65 years old. Woo-hoo. How'd you make it this fucking far? How'd you make it this far? Lying to people? Getting it from both ends? Is that how you made it this far? You strike me as a girl that likes to get it from both ends. You do lie. Okay. So saying you don't lie is a fucking lie. Another fucking lie. You just like, your lies are prolific, Kim. I've read a lot of your fucking comments. You do lie. And just because you're 65 years old doesn't mean you don't lie. People, is there a certain age you reach where after that age, no one lies anymore? Who gives a fuck if you're 65? I'm scratching my head wondering how you made it this far. And you're probably lucky we live in a modern age where a dumb fuck like you doesn't encounter a bear once or twice in your life, because you'd have been fucking eaten by now.
I thought you were a decent guy. I thought you were a stand-up guy, but the stuff that you've got in your stream coming up tonight, just your title alone, is it true?
I do have one question correction. Mandy, stop getting
Sorry.
corrections. If I understand correctly, I think you said that Becker and Welsh News Network, fuck off phone, accused you of being on drugs. I just want to know where and when that was, if you're able to tell me.
Holy shit, you don't fucking know? Wow, you don't pay attention, Mark. Right on says, oh man, did you get the picture of her stepping on the biddies too? Bro, if you got a picture of that, email it to me. I will fucking post it. I'll post it. I'd love to fucking humiliate this fucking trailer trash piece of fucking shit. Although I'm reaching the point where I'd like to fucking humiliate Kim Crawford even more. Highest priest says, show me the screenshots. Kim Crawford says, show me the screenshots that were so terrible. I'm not saying that I didn't say so, and so is live or in Discord. That isn't much of a snitch. You're a fucking snitch. Snitches. All you guys do that bullshit on Discord. I've seen a lot of it lately. You do that shit on Discord. You think that Discord is some like little private fucking sewing circle where you can fucking gossip unabashedly, and then somebody who's in your own fucking sewing circle group takes screenshots of your shit and shows it to the fucking world. You know you're not in private when you're in fucking Discord, but you still act like you are, and you do your backbiting and your fucking gossiping there. You are a snitch, Kim. Live with it. That's what you are.
Don't tell people to get wrecked in the chat, please.
Hey, come on, that's not fair.
Get
right.
fucking wrecked. Get
channel.
Ready to get
right.
wrecked. We're gonna wreck you, Miss Mandy.
I've spent since the 13th of this month standing up for you guys as much as, you know, I haven't damned you or condemned you, or I haven't damned or condemned Welsh.
I invited her to do drugs. What?
Boom, boom. He's answering your fucking question. She did say it. Dan said it too.
Where and when?
Holy fuck. You don't pay attention to your own fucking, your boss is not going to be happy, Mark, to hear that you don't pay attention to what he says. But maybe you do that intentionally so that you don't, your conscience doesn't bother you when you make up the fucking lies to cover the fucking truth about him. Accountability, Mark. It's your turn.
You know, I mean,
please pull up
it's one thing to you know, all right, let's go on to the, I didn't want to, but let's go on to the get wrecked comment. You know, it was, your claim then was that they had made the claim that you were threatening Becca without any justification or cause. You know, you also need to provide that, you know, justification cause. You need to, you know, you're accusing them of something without the receipts. I mean,
Dan and Becca, Welsh News Network and JF, write up yours, get it all wrong. Let's have a resident attorney look at it and see what an actual attorney thinks again. And this is Tro Patro Army Assemble. Thought we were.
Hold on a second, because Kim Crawford inadvertently just vomited up more fucking info like these guys always fucking do. At codedfriend.00001, whatever, pick apart every word people say. It really makes you sound so smart. No fucking sarcasm and fucking backstabbing when I fucking see it there, Kimbo. At 65, a person like you has lost most of their memory, Kim. At 65, I have a lot more life experience dealing with people like you, Coded. I did HR for 20 years. So you are a fucking snitch. You're a fucking HR person. You're the fucking person that the snitches fucking run to. And then you snitch upstairs about the fucking snitches that snitch to you. And you're the fucking collective snitch that goes upstairs and snitches somebody out and they lose their fucking job. You are that kind of bitch. I've seen your fucking shit on YouTube. I've seen your shit on fucking Discord. You are that kind of fucking liar, Kim. You're practiced at fucking lying and you're practiced at fucking snitching. And I've known it from the first fucking comments I've seen by you. You're a very disingenuous person and you think you're better than other people, Kimmy, and you're not. You had to apologize to Shiz, right? Over the fucking Fraud or the Reaper shit. Because without doing any investigation on your own, you sat there and told Shiz she was full of shit and she didn't know what she was talking about, and you backed fucking Reaper. And then you wound up having to apologize when fucking Shiz put out the info. Maybe, Kim, you might want to do a little homework of your own before you start backing people randomly just because you're friends with them. And why the fuck would someone so experienced as you, HR with human relations, 20 years of human relations experience, how could someone so fucking ingrained in the expertise of reading humans, how could someone like you with your fucking knowledge get the wool pulled over your eye by a fucking dumb bitch like Fraud or the Reaper? Maybe you're not as smart as you fucking think there, Sunshine.
We're dropping the Tro Patro thing.
Fileback and Wrangler, I believe, are. But I mean, it's entirely up to them if they want to use it or not. It's, yeah. But
you know who come up with it? Fraud or the Reaper came up with it. Just saying.
Did she come up with it, or was it mentioned in the comments?
She came up with it, or it was come up with during one of her streams.
Okay.
I don't know if she came up with it or if somebody in her comments come up with it, but it was come up with during one of her live streams. But it wasn't corrections.
Yeah, if it was somebody else that came up with it, then technically it would be their thing as opposed to Reaper's thing. But again,
it was Reaper. Okay.
If it was Reaper, yeah, that's fine. Reaper and Richard Hilliard. Okay.
Okay. Well.
And in terms of threats, anyway, it's hey, CC. In terms of threats, it's exactly the same as harassment, stalking, etc., etc. You know, so much of the law surrounding that relates to how the victim themselves perceive, or how a reasonable person even would perceive.
Oh my God, having a boob, a fucking boob, a genetic, a loser in the genetic lottery. The big giant fucking head swell up with water on the fucking brain. Dude, you're a fucking law student. Why are you publicly commenting about law when you haven't finished your fucking law education? And it seems like kind of a fucking mistake, you know? Well, I guess if you're going to pretend to be a law student, you have to at some point in time talk about law. Otherwise, people aren't going to buy your fucking bluff. You're not even in a program that will allow you to be a fucking barrister. You're in a program that people use to get a fucking teaching degree. Oh. Hold on, Kim Crawford has more to say to me. Let's see what Kimmy's up to. Kim Crawford says the Walter, Texas, coded is out of control and just making up shit as he goes. He is lying and baiting people into arguing with him. He goes off and picks on people. His commentary is all BS. Well, then why are you so fucking, why are you clucking? Why are you clucking, little hen? Why are your feathers all fucking ruffled up? You're so fucking smart, according to you. You have 20 years of experience reading people. You were in HR for 20 fucking years, but you got the wool pulled over your eyes by a fucking uneducated redneck fucking hillbilly who has to fucking shoplift groceries to feed her fucking kid. And that's the one that fucking buffaloed you? It doesn't seem like your 20 years of fucking HR experience is really worth much in the fucking real world outside the fucking corporate stoogery, where backstabbing is how you progress in the fucking up the corporate ladder. You know what I'm talking about if you were there 20 years. If you're not lying about that. If you have 20 years experience reading people, how did fucking Frauder Reaper hoodwink you, Kim? I mean, if your fucking 20 years of HR experience is your fucking life raft that you're floating around in, knowing that you got fucking taken by Frauder the Reaper is like taking a shotgun and blowing the hole in your fucking bottom of your life raft. But you got 20 years of experience reading people. You're so fucking smart. You're so fucking smart that Frauder the Reaper, the fucking shoplifter who can't feed her own fucking kid and has to shoplift to fucking do it, can't hold the fucking job. You read her. You read her perfect. She didn't do this shoplifting shit. You're so fucking smart, Kimmy. I'm just making shit up. Kim. I can't synthesize the data that you just gave to me. I can't synthesize the data that your statement that you have 20 years of experience in HR and you know how to read people. I can't synthesize that with the fucking fact that Frauder the Reaper bullshitted you and you bought it hook, line, and sinker and were bitching at Shiz and then had to go apologize to Shiz after Shiz showed the fucking truth that you were unwilling because you're so good at reading people, so you didn't have to do any looking at real facts. And you backed the wrong fucking pony, dipshit. So your 20 years of reading people isn't worth fucking spit. You should write down on a piece of paper, I have 20 years experience as HR reading people, and write that down and then crumple it up and then smooth it out and then crumple it up and then smooth it out and then crumple it up and then smooth it out. Do that about 50 times and then fold it into fours and you'll have a nice piece of emergency toilet paper in your fucking pocket.
The behavior to be. So it doesn't really matter what the intention behind it was as such. No.
All right, hold on. I'm going to bat this fucking Kim Crawford mouse around a little bit more. Kim says, at coded friend at 001, I admitted that I made a mistake and apologized. I didn't have to do that. I felt it was the right thing to do. I haven't seen anyone else do that on any opposing commentary. I've done it. I've seen plenty of other people do it. I just don't see the moral reprobates doing it, which is probably what you fucking hang around with. Here's my point, Kimmy, because you're obviously fucking missing it. Your statement that you have 20 years experience, you know how to read people because you have 20 years experience as an HR personnel person. Your 20 years of experience doesn't mean shit because you got hoodwinked by a dumb fuck like Frauder the Reaper. You got hoodwinked by her. You bitched at Shiz who knew the fucking truth. You bitched at her, told her she is fucking wrong. Your other little fucking accusations and bullshit. So what I'm saying here I'm not saying you didn't handle the situation right. I'm not saying it was a good thing. It was or wasn't a good thing that you went and apologized. The fact that you had to apologize shows the fact that you didn't look into anything. And your idea that you have an ability to read people because of your 20 years of HR fucking experience isn't worth shit stacked up to the experience that a dumb fuck like Fraud the Reaper, a fucking pill popper, a Suboxone user, a shoplifter, a chronic e-bagger. You read her so fucking well with your 20 years of HR experience. Yo, 20 years of HR experience ain't worth fucking doodly squat. That's my point, sweetheart. That's data synthesis, right? The situation is Fraud the Reaper shoplifting. The situation is you reading Fraud the Reaper with your 20 years of experience and then going after Shiz and telling Shiz how fucking wrong she is and all the other shitty shit you said without doing any fucking factual research, just relying on your 20 years of experience as an HR personnel and your ability to read people. And you were fucking wrong. So now look back over your 20 years experience as an HR person and think of all the times you didn't do any research and you just took gossip. You just believed gossip because you believed in your mind that you were so good at reading people. How many people lost their fucking jobs because of your fucking dumbass? How many people didn't get a raise or didn't get a bonus or didn't get a promotion because of your fucking dumbass that thought, oh, I have so much experience reading people. I can just tell by the look on their face that they're not telling the truth. Go fuck yourself. Take your 20 years experience, like I said, write it on a piece of paper. I have 20 years HR experience, and I am an expert in reading people. And then think of the situation with Fraud the Reaper and Shiz, and then crumple that fucking page up, smooth it out, crumple it up, smooth it out, crumple it up, smooth it out, till it's nice and fucking soft. And fold it in half again. And you'll have a nice 4-ply piece of fucking toilet paper with your own fucking words of wisdom written on it. And you can wipe your ass with it and flush it down the fucking toilet because that's all your 20 years of being able to fucking read people is worth. I don't care if you're 65. I don't care if you're 75. I don't care if you're 45. I don't care if you're fucking 85. You lie. Maybe you're just so self-deceived that you don't even know when you're fucking lying anymore.
Granted, that does come into it, as we've just seen, but there's just as much, if not more, emphasis placed on how it's actually perceived rather than how it's meant, which is something that you just need to be very careful of. That's all I'm saying. It's one thing to troll in YouTube comments and even live streams and what have you. It's another thing entirely to go after somebody in real life. And honestly, I don't mean to pick on Corrections, but Corrections knows what it's like to have somebody go after him in real life. I would have, if anybody, honestly, if I would have expected anybody to have said, well, hold on, guys, this is perhaps taking it a bit too far, I think he would have been the one I would have expected to do that. Really, it should have been done. It should have been. It should never have got to the point that it got to. And but anyway,
hold on. Nima says, you have to listen to all sides to avoid being ignorant, but I've heard enough for today. Well, I'm glad you heard our side. Maybe you want to take that and go take your little words of wisdom right there and go give them to Kim Crawford because she thinks she's an expert at reading people, but she backed Reaper over Shiz without looking into any facts. And then attack Shiz, talk shit about Shiz to the point where she had to fucking apologize to Shiz. Yeah, take your little words of wisdom there, Nima, and go share them with fucking Kim Crawford. She needs to hear it.
I've said all I'm going to say on it. We've been going for just over an hour. Again, I want people to be able to actually come back and see this. Like I said before, this isn't associated with Welsh News Network or Tributary Army or Falkex or Wrangler individually or anything like that. This is purely just me trying to explain a little bit more in detail. Things like why it was dealt with publicly and why it wasn't all dealt with in private. And hopefully I've answered some of those questions. It might be a bit long-winded, I apologize for that, but that's just the way my brain works. I get a lot of squirrel moments and what have you. So do you guys have any final thoughts on that? Anything we covered?
I just want to say that there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah.
Not going to go into it, but there were some nefarious things that happened. Some people that were hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Those bridges have not been mended. Maybe you ought to think about mending those. But anyway, just a lot of things that went down. And just a lot of.
Lady, look, it's Kim Crawford. Your perception is your reality. Fucking dumb. This is some really fucking dumb shit. Your perception is your reality. That's what makes it difficult to hash these things out in a few words on chat, especially when emotions are involved. No, your perception is not your reality. Your perception is an incomplete picture of reality. And as long as you go through life not understanding that your limited perception is not reality, then you'll make the fucking mistakes you made through your whole fucking life, Kim. Thinking that 20 years as an HR person, I'm capable of reading people. How good were you on the fucking read with Frauditor Reaper? Right? Your perception is not your reality. Your reality is reality in toto. Your perception is limited. You can go to the psychologist turned philosopher, William James. The whole pragmatist movement in America, turn of the century, early 1900s. Reality is a stream that's blowing by so fast you can't possibly take it all in. That's what reality is. Reality, real reality, the real, is unfathomable. The best you can do is filter out a segment and pay attention to that. You can't see what's behind you. You can't see what's behind you. Without modern technology and the aid of mechanisms, machines, you never would have been aware that dolphins have fucking sonar or that bats have fucking radar, echolocation. Elephants generate infrasound, which can't be heard by the human ear. Sound, they can communicate with each other over miles. It's a low frequency sound wave that can literally penetrate solid objects. That's reality. There's a ton of shit in reality you're not even fucking aware of. So if you think your perception is your reality, you're a fucking fool. But when you say shit like that, well, your perception is your own reality. That's the shit you guys use to cover the fucking lies you tell. Your perception is not your reality. Your reality is reality, and you can't fucking comprehend it. That's why it's moving by you so fast, and you're so confused that you think you're an expert on fucking reading people. Jesus Christ.
Hurt all around, and this was not to drag this up. This was just to try to maybe answer some questions, and to why the Patrol was still posting stuff. This was just to try to answer questions. Not.
Oh my God, I'm having so much fun with you. I missed the whole point. It was here to expose fucking Mark and Mandy on their fucking virtue signaling bullshit. You seem just as bad as they do. Kim Crawford says, coded friend.001. Damn, you're triggered. I really didn't say that much about shiz even before the real docs came out. So thanks for playing you. Thanks for playing you sound really sad, trying to expose me. Your chat's bored. Okay, Kim. Well, you are a boring fucking topic, but I think it's important to point out little dipshits like you that think I have 20 years of experience in HR and I'm expert at reading people. No, you're not. Here, I'll give you an example where you fucking failed miserably. Frauditer Reaper. Everything Shiz said about Frauditer Reaper was true. You were fucking 100% wrong. You know why Shiz was right and you were wrong? Because Shiz did research and got real information. You think, oh my God, he looked up left while he was saying that. He's a liar. That's the shit that I'm a body read expert. I can read people. No, you fucking can't. You can't. Because you got it all wrong with fucking Reaper. Wrong enough that you had to go and apologize to Shiz. Shiz got it right. Why did Shiz get it right? Because Shiz did real research and got fucking factual information. You, Kim, relied on your 20 years at reading people. Like I said, write that down on a piece of paper. I have 20 years experience as an HR professional. I know how to read people. Write that down on a piece of paper. Crumple it all up. Smooth it all out. Crumple it all up. Smooth it all out about 50 times or so till it's nice and soft. Fold it into fours. And when you wipe your ass with your fucking emergency toilet paper, you the wisdom before you smear it with your own feces. I'm so triggered. You don't know what fucking triggered is, don't you?
Not hurt anyone.
Yeah. I hope that True Patrol go back to doing what they did when they first started. That was the reason that I joined them in the first place. And it was fun. We all had a great time.
What? Mark joined Tro Patrol? You were a member of this fucking shit? Mark, you were a member of this that you're now fucking condemning? I wonder what parts you played. I think it's time for me to get together with Wrangler and Only Frauds and find out exactly what you were fucking doing. I mean, besides surveilling them and running back to fucking Dan to snitch them out. Shitbag little fuck. Don't let this fucking guy, if you're on YouTube, don't let this fucking Nark the Sarcastic fucking Snitch. Don't let him near you. Don't tell him anything that's more informative than fucking what color crayon you're currently fucking coloring with.
I'm just chatting crap in the comments and having a laugh and a joke, and that's how it should be. That's how YouTube is meant to be. So yeah,
YouTube is meant to be a chuckle and a laugh, cracking comments, cracking jokes in the comment. That's what YouTube is meant to be. Wow, you're missing the fucking bus, Mark.
Reaper, I just said that you and your chat come up with the idea for Troll Patrol.
Yeah, we were trying. I was just asking in general where the idea came from. NCR, anything to add to that?
The only thing I have to add is we can either watch ourselves sink lower by reaching down to the levels of the frauditors and the soft-sids and trying to cut each other's throats, or we can actually accomplish what we set out to do, point out stupid, laugh at it, and hopefully educate people from, falling prey to these moral degenerates of the group of the frauditors. Mm-hmm. I don't have any beef with anybody. I stand by the analogy ELE, everybody love everybody. But we're not going to get anywhere if we sink down to the lower levels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. Me too, Gripcat.
Yes. In fact, actually, that's the fourth car, Jim. Sorry, not the third. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Ruh-roh.
Absolutely.
Ruh-roh. Here, Kim Crawford. Kim Crawford, expert at reading people. 20 years of HR experience. She's expert at reading people. Let's see what she has to say. I support Corrections 101 and all. I'm giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. We all have gone too far at times. I support Wrangler and Fowl. We can only see what happens moving forward. You support Corrections 101. You're really good at fucking reading people. Did you read the book where he doxed minors that were sexually abused after the fucking sexual abuser was convicted? Did you read that one, Kim Crawford? It's all that fucking reading, people. Douche. I support everyone. It's that mamby-pamby fucking, we all make mistakes. Yeah, you make a lot of fucking mistakes, Kim. That's why you want a blank forgiveness for everybody, because you fucking making mistakes all the time. The biggest mistake you made today, Kim, was announcing that 20 years experience and you're an expert at fucking reading people. You 101, did you read his fucking book? Did you do any fucking fact checking whatsoever? Are you aware? You support Corrections 101. Are you aware that minors that were sexually abused after the sexual abuser was convicted? Oh, you're fucking good at reading people, Kim. You the fucking best.
And me and Corrections 101 always got on fine.
Same.
I don't know only frauds too well, but I don't dislike any of them. It's just I don't want them to get themselves into trouble, and I don't want them to get any community members into trouble. And that was my whole reasoning for showing up on Welsh News Network. Granted, I also went up there to make sure that there was at least a level playing field, because let's face it would have been a bloody slaughter otherwise. But
you went up there to make sure it was at least a level playing field, because it would have been a bloody slaughter if you weren't there. Because the playing field, if you weren't there, the playing field wouldn't have been level, right? You're taking a lot of credit for shit here. But we all know whenever you deal with Dan, you're not dealing with a level playing field, because you talk all this shit about fucking accountability and fact checking, but you, Dan, don't ever fucking do any of that shit. You're a fucking hypocrite, Mark. All your fucking talk here today about fucking accountability and fucking why we need to police you're just doing the shit that Dan did through fucking bullshit rationalizations. I can't wait to sit down with Only Frauds and Wrangler and talk about your fucking involvement in this shit, Mark, which you've hidden the whole fucking time. Nark the snitch boy.
And I don't have a personal problem with any of them either. Same thing. But my only issue with Corrections is that it was explained in detail why the Tro Patrol thing was not a good idea, why it needed to kind of just fade into oblivion. But he's doubling down, and I just don't understand that.
I don't know. I don't know if it needs to fade into oblivion. I think.
Holy fuck! Shiz, inside joke. MissMandy understand why when she told Corrections to stop, that he didn't stop. She can't understand it. That's, little joke between you and me. Because MissMandy was told a lot of shit that Frauder the Reaper was doing. And it's all fucking come out and been laid out. And everything she said was fucking correct. And MissMandy's still fucking associating with Frauder the Reaper and making up fucking lies about what went down. You're an amazing fucking bunch, man. You really are. The way you say one thing and your actions, a month later, are the exact opposite of what you sat here and fucking preached about. Why don't you take your little advice about how horrible the fucking shit that happened to Jeremiah Payne was, and he was paranoid and pushing a man to the edge. Nark, when you run back to do your next Nark session, you go back to snitch on your next Nark session. Why don't you point out to Dan that he's doing way worse shit to a Chili DeCastro, who's probably just as paranoid and on the fucking edge as Jeremiah was? Why do you not care? Why do you not care when it comes to what your fucking boss Dan is doing? Why did you sit there and arm him with facts and details about Falcax, Wrangler, while you and fucking cover for Frauder the Reaper and feed Dan one-sided facts to fit a fucking narrative? Why did you do that, Mark? Level playing field, my fucking cock. You're simping, Mark. You're simping. Miss Mandy, you don't do any of the fucking shit you're going to do. Nothing. Oh, I have to get away from Fraud or the Reaper. How many times did you say that in the last 4 fucking weeks? 8? I have to slowly. You're deeper in with that bitch now. You're covering for her fucking lies. You're still associating with her after all the fucking shit that you were fucking wrong about came out. And the shit that you snitched Fraud or the Reaper out for. And now we're finding out that you're doing the little nudie hoochie with your fucking, the people who pay you to work for them. I hope a lot of those fucking hosts aren't fucking married, because their wives probably aren't going to be happy to find out, you know, that you fucking exposing yourself to fucking the people who pay you. But the Piggly Wiggly got to wiggle, right? Got to wiggle that Piggly Wiggly. What's the matter? The fucking internet relationship with Limey isn't juicing up the labia anymore?
You know, there's certainly a place for it. But
I'm definitely curious to see how it's handled. But so far, the title does not read well. In my opinion.
I hope that your fears are unfounded.
I hope so.
But who knows? Yeah, it must be. It must be fun when people tell me how to run mine as well.
Oh, Kim Crawford. Let's see what Kim has to say here. So last summer, 7. No, that's not the one I want. I think I want the one before that. Or after that. Yeah. Hold on. Let me find this beauty of a statement by little Kimmy Crawford. I think you did say it. And I think you definitely implied it at Burns 66. I don't think I said I could read people. That is what Coded is saying. Everything that comes out of his mouth is conjecture. Just listen to him. It's conjecture. It's conjecture. It's not synthesized data. It's not actual fact that you're stating that you know people, can read people. You have why are you stating your 20 years of HR experience? How does that come into play in the conversation unless you're propping up some fucking credential you say you have? But let's look at the reality of the situation, Kimmy. Let's look at the reality of the situation, Kimmy, and we'll figure out who the fucking narcissist is here. Because there's someone who's fucking 100% wrong who's still making excuses and slinging ad hominems at me. And that's you, Kim. You backed Fraud or the Reaper. You did no investigation, no research, no facts. You just believed what Fraud or the Reaper told you, right? And you gave Shiz shit about what she was doing. Shiz was actually getting real fucking information. It turns out, Kim, that you were 100% wrong. That's why you had to apologize to Shiz. It turns out, Kim, that Shiz was 100% right in all she said. Nothing Shiz says didn't come to pass to be proven fact. So what good's your 20 years experience in HR? What did you proffer that up for? What was that detail, that fact? You have 20 years in HR. What was that supposed to sort, narcissist? Is that just a narcissistic comment? Were we all supposed to be blown away and go, whoa, 20 years in HR? Anybody who's worked a fucking corporate gig knows what shitbags you fucking HR people are. You know, I'm going to go back and find that fucking comment, and I'm going to make you eat it, Kim. Douche. Kim, you have no expertise. You have the only thing I've ever seen you involved with, you were 100% fucking wrong. You backed Fraud the Reaper. She's a fucking grifter, con artist, fucking petty shoplifter. She can't even feed her fucking kid. She can't hold a job. She doesn't save money. You little begging for money for fucking Suboxone. Begging for money to buy Suboxone. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. You got another person who's probably on the verge of or actually has a substance abuse issue, never has fucking money, always has a fucking woe is me fucking crybaby story. And that's what you backed over Shiz's. It's not like this is the first thing Shiz has done, you know? She's got time on YouTube. She comes out of Mass Hall. She's associated with Kate. Kate made a mistake early on. She talked about it. Court document, not true in a filing. And from there on, she's been all about fucking receipts. Shiz came out of that fucking culture. Shiz is all about receipts. What the fuck do you know about Fraud the Reaper other than the fucking bullshit she tells? But you're 20 years in HR, so you went on the fucking Reaper side and gave Shiz shit. Right? That's your expertise. Your expertise had you backing the completely fucking wrong horse. And you're sitting there saying, I'm a fucking narcissist, while you try to figure out how to fucking wiggle out of your own fucking statements. It's kind of sad there, Kimmy. Only Fraud says it was an article. It was an article he wrote. The book was full of racist stuff. Thank you. I thought what I read was an excerpt from the book. It must have been the article itself. Yeah, McAddicts. You keep making comments like that. That's why you get the hashtag FYM. FYM, buddy. Let's see what Kim had to say. At Burns66, Coded is really trying hard to fee me. Comments taken out of text. What does comments taken out of text mean? Do you mean context? It looks like you're too triggered to fucking typewrite or to proofread your shit. But you're HR. You're so fucking smart. 20 years of experience. Comments taken out of text and way before timelines that brought out facts. That's the whole fucking point, Kim. You just made my fucking point. You got the facts after the person you were attacking put the facts out and was right. You had no facts and you were backing Fraud the Reaper. Duh. So why were you backing Fraud the Reaper over what Shiz was saying? Because you have 20 years of experience as an HR and you know how to read people? Write down your fucking, I have 20 years of experience with HR. I know how to read people. Write it down on a piece of paper, crumple it, smooth it out, crumple it, smooth it out, crumple it 50 fucking times till it's nice and soft. Fold it in half. Fold it in half again, and you'll have a nice 4-ply piece of fucking toilet paper with your own words of wisdom written in it that you can smear with your feces when you need an emergency wipey wipe. God, your fucking comment is stupid. Yeah, no shit. There was no timeline yet. The facts hadn't been exposed yet. But yet you were backing Reaper and giving Shiz shit. And you were 100% fucking wrong. Your experience at reading people, it's not worth shit. You backed the wrong fucking person. You shouldn't have brought that shit up, dummy. Jesus Christ. Make 50 fucking snowballs and then put them in front of me and say, let's have a snowball fight. Use my snowballs to beat me up with them. You fucking dope. You're a fucking dope. You fucking... Oh my God, you guys need to shut the fuck up. You should, before you type shit in the fucking chat, Kim, you should write it down and fucking read it back to yourself and ask yourself, does this make me look like a fucking dumbass? Because that's what you're doing right now. You're making yourself look like a dumbass. I'm just reading your fucking comments. 20 years of fucking HR experience and you can't fucking synthesize data. 20 years of HR experience and you couldn't read that frauditor reaper is a fucking fraud. Holy shit, Kim. You should probably tell people you were a janitor in the HR department, because that's a bar you can fucking hit. I feel sorry for anybody who had to fucking rely on you. Holy shit. You fucking dumb. At McAddicts, I've never blocked anyone. Coded is the one who said I read people. What does that have to do with blocking people? I just said I had that and actually many years more experience. I have enough experience to know Coded is a narcissist. Oh, come on, Kim. Keep the fucking comments coming. At Shiz Happens. Yeah, I'm a bad girl. Coded reads me so well. I read you well enough to know that you're fucking making the claim that you have 20 years of experience and you can read people is an idiotic fucking claim to make when you're sitting in the room with the fucking, in the side chat with the fucking woman that you attacked over her fucking stance on Fraud the Reaper, which you, my friend Kim, were 100 fucking % wrong about, to the point where you had to go to Shiz and apologize to her. Duh. McAddicts, HR devils. Rebel at heart. Coded sees the nail. He just has to pound it. Yeah. McAddicts says Kim at 65 should find a fucking job. Yeah, exactly. Burn 66, blaming Shiz for the craziness going on here. It's not Shiz's fault. Shiz was the one that was right the whole time. It's not Shiz's fault. It's Kim Crawford's fucking little smarmy fucking mouth. Kim Crawford, I'm sad. I'm a sad, bad girl. But at least you were able to get some commentary for your otherwise boring live stream. Thank you, Kim. Keep playing the fucking narcissist. Keep playing the fucking narcissist, Kim. It's beautiful. You are, Kim, there's a person here who's triggered, and it's not fucking me. Shiz offers up an example. In my live chat during the Reaper live, she was trying to say I illegally obtained the documents and such. Yep. Burn 66. I don't get why Shiz got crap for exposing Fraud of the Reaper. I don't get it either. I was a bit wary about her, especially when someone starts posting their Cash App, PayPal, and whatever pay thingy on her channel. Yeah. Same thing's going on at fucking Welsh News Network. Same thing's going on at Witch of Heart. Same thing's going on with Mark the Sarcastic Law Student. All these people are e-bagging all the fucking time. Kim Crawford says, well, sorry, but I have to go back to my real life now. It has been fun. I must say I haven't enjoyed a verbal battering like this in such a long time. I cannot wait for the next live stream. You come around whenever you want, Kim. You want to fucking minimize your comments a little bit because you give me a lot of fucking ammo to fucking hit you with. And for the record, Shiz says to Kim, I accepted your apology. Pointing out past behavior doesn't negate that. Yeah, Shiz did accept your apology. Not only that, she's a bigger fucking person than you are, Kim, you fucking narcissist. You're not good at reading people, Kim. Get over your fucking self. If you're 65, maybe you want to think about fucking retiring before you ruin some fucking 20-year-old's career with your, I'm good at reading people. No, you're not. You're not. You suck at it. You fucking suck at it. McAddick needs a wrench to combat these tyrant mods. Laura Rader says, are you trolling? Are you trolling me at McAddicks? Oh, it was Walter. Sorry. You're having a bad day, Walter. Walter's having a bad day? What happened with Walter? All right, looks like we're a wrap for today. 3 hours. God damn, I got to get these down to 2 hours. Thank you to Kim Crawford. Thanks, Kim, for elongating the broadcast by interjecting your stupidity. It was fun calling you out, though. Maybe I'll separate that part of the program and make it a standalone, because you are fucking... You're an excellent model of stupid, Kim. All right, codedfriend.001 listeners, we are out for the day. Oh, no, we'll be back, 2 hours. Is Mass Hall on tonight, Shiz? Did they not broadcast last night, or are they doing 2 in a row? If they're on tonight, I might push the NTFG SFW back, because I do not think that the Welsh News Network should need to do any fundraising for Blue Bacon if Blue Bacon Beggar Boy has announced already today that he reached his goal. Maybe Danny kicked up the remainder amount. I thought I saw... All right, now I'm going to double check it. I thought I saw something that said Mass Hall had a broadcast on it. Hold on. Before you go, I'll verify. Troll Mafia official. Go bango. Oh, I may be wrong. No, upcoming 8/7/9:15 p.m. Yeah, they have one scheduled for tonight. It is entitled #Karen Reed is toxic and dangerous. Colin Albert has an undeniable alibi. The quote Google search is BS. Yes. Apparently, Kate and the Mass Hall crowd will be broadcasting this evening. Let me just verify the time one more time. 9:15 p.m., August 7th. That is today, East Coast time. So head over to Mass Hall tonight. You'll have a good time. Oh, there's a little more left of this. 1159. Oh, there's 4 minutes here. I'll leave you out with the last boring 4 minutes of Mark the Sarcastic Snitch Boy.
But there we go.
Who's telling who how to run their channel?
Didn't Dan tell Falcax and Wrangler to not do things and he would leave them alone? The fuck do you mean who's telling people how to run their channel? Your little fucking simp squad tries to do it all the fucking time.
A lot of opinions are like Mandy. Yeah, we do. Gotta pay.
Jim Felch is posting at Nark the Sarcastic Snitch Boy 4th. Hopefully that one is in the name of Jim Finch in Alabama. Jim Finch is a fucking dope.
Confirm or deny, Jim.
For Cripple Cat, she come in at the very end, so she knows everything that's going on.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting to the point where the stream's slowing down. So we're going to end it here, I think. NCR, did you have anything else to add before we go?
No, I'm good.
All right. Okay, well, thank you all for coming. Hopefully this has helped to answer some of the basic questions. Terry, hi, just in time for the end of the show. I'll have to get back and watch it.
Mark, you left me with a question. Why are you virtue signaling accountability and the anti-frauditor community policing itself while you constantly state that Dan doesn't have to be held accountable for his statements and that Dan is above being policed, even though he chronically fucking lies? Chronically lies. That's the question you left me with there, Marco, you pillar biter. Well, when you're put some ice on that big fucking gray-haired dome, half balding dome of yours, see if you can get the brain swelling to go down, some of the fucking fluid on the brain to dry up, Marco, and then think about why you're not applying any of the standards that you enunciated today to Welsh News Network. Why do you turn your back and look at other people? Why you let them fucking lie on a daily basis and do the same type of paranoia-inducing, trauma-injecting abuse of Chile de Castro? Why do you do that? Why do you turn your back while he does the same shit you're condemning the Tro Patrol Army for doing to Jeremiah Payne? Why do you turn your back while Dementia Dan does the same shit to Chile? And Reagan Benson, for fuck's sake. Mark, where are you when Dan is openly announcing that Reagan Benson has killed multiple homeless people to get their fucking money? Why are you not, your accountability, self-policing, why are you not fucking commenting on that shit there, Marco? Probably because you a fucking douche. All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. Today's program has been sponsored by the number 1. Please remember, all around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. Today's program sponsored by the number 1. Adios.